If we balance it out right, no.
No?
No.
Well, actually, we've got thingy tomorrow. We've got proper hash browns tomorrow.
Okay.
If you want, unless you want to do small ones of them.
I'm not too fussed, to be fair, babe. Whatever you fancy.
Oh, well, I don't remember liking it, so.
I won't see how you can't like them. They're fucking gorgeous, to be fair.
I don't like them.
Just gonna let you know now, Fiori's getting a 5-second penalty for his instant wheel.
Good. Because if he wasn't, I would have appealed it.
Right, 2 seconds.
That's less points for him now. It's no longer 26 points, motherfucker.
Can you hear me?
No.
That's good then.
Did you enjoy my plot?
It was nice, mate.
Ah, great. Back to fucking GT3s and writing notes. Oh shit, hang on, wait.
Right.
Don't need that anymore, now I know he's getting a penalty.
So, Rob, Bryn, Dean, Leon. Welshie. Still off. Keegs. Halter. DJ. Akbar. JM. Grill. Liam, even though I know Liam's not racing tonight. Smithy. Little Leach. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. Aiden. Oh, misjotting race notes in my little Toy Story notepad.
Who am I missing?
Who have you got?
Oh, it's the two drivers that never fucking turn up.
Craft and Aiden. So no Liam. At the minute, no Craft, no Aiden. So that takes us down. So that takes us up to 17. Who else are we missing at the moment? Stealth Sloth. Right, well, we've got a couple of minutes before I press the button. I'm just going to take my plate out and run to the toilet.
That's hot.
You tried it?
Yeah.
Nice.
I think because my last ends, I think mine were very greasy.
Right. Still though?
Let me. Wait till end, I'll tell you.
You are?
Wait till end, I'll tell you.
Time you putting James to bed?
About 8, right?
You had fucking 6 minutes on his PlayStation.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's nearly
It's long,
tomorrow.
I think mine, a bit greasy, could have done me a bit longer.
Right, yeah. Is it nice though?
Is it meant to be like, I was expecting it to be like fluffy inside.
No.
No?
No.
Like proper hash brown. brown.
It is literally a hash brown. That is the only way I can describe it.
Yeah, I expect an hash fluffy.
It's not meant to know, because otherwise you'd have probably mashed it and then fried it to get it fluffy.
Yeah.
Right. We are getting ready to go. Boys, just quiet down a little bit, please. Just quieten down a little bit, please. Oh, by the way, Dan, are you there?
Mm-hmm.
So the stream... Oh, I told you about the stream the other day, didn't I? Where Dean just put Matt as a comment.
Yeah.
Oh, Matthew.
Hmm?
Goes well with it.
It does go well with that. Goes well with that feel, that creamy sauce. Goes well with anything with like a sauce on it. It's like that with the barbecue sauce. I had it with that feel, with that creamy sauce.
Very creamy person,
Right. Good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Simplay Motorsport, where we are here for rounds 5 and 6 at the Emilia Romagna district of Imola for the next event in Pro-Am. I'm Matthew Duffin, your commentator tonight. And joining me in the box once again is my partner in crime. It is the lovely Dan Davis. Dan, how are you?
I'm doing very well. I'm a little bit starstruck right now, ladies and gentlemen. We are in the presence of a superstar, a celebrity right now. Matthew Duffin, how's the jet lag? How are you feeling after Switzerland? And is Simplay going to be as crisp as clean as Racing Unleashed?
Simplay is going to be as crisp and clean as Racing Unleashed. Me and Dan have got plans to bring you some extremely interesting things in the near future. And a bit tight. We spoke about it last night. We've got plans to bring you some crispy stuff as well. Tired as always, but as ever, we are here to bring you some fantastic qualifying. 12 drivers out there at the moment. We are expecting at least 15 tonight. We only know of one driver that is away, so we are expecting 15 drivers out there tonight. And at Imola, what are we going to expect from these boys? Tight, twisty circuit. It's got a lot of corners that you can be that can hurt you if you get them wrong, but can be very forgiving if you get them right. And the championship standings, Dan, after 4 races already, are not what I think we was expecting.
No, definitely not. It's definitely one of those seasons where you just don't know who's going to do what. We obviously put a lot of faith and an interest in this man who's currently in the pits right now, Little Leach, obviously coming from Pro down into Pro-Am. Round 1 really did not go his way to start things off, but really picked things up after Road America. But the shock of the season so far has to be this man leaving the pits. Bryn so far in that Audi, he's been on another level. He's really stepped it up this season, and in the points tables, it's really shown.
It has indeed, and the points tables reflect like this, and Little Each does lead the way on 88. As Dan said, Road America really helped him out after a poor Sakito. Bryn, 71, 17 points behind. And again, to back what Dan says up, the shock of the season, really. The man who went from the most penalty points last season to what was leading the championship after rounds 1 and 2, he has really stepped up his game in this Audi. Welshie, we've always seen Welshie be consistent in that Lamborghini and nearly got promoted last year. He's currently sitting in 3rd, but tied with Ukbar, who had a decent Road America, just got caught out in his own problems round there. He is tied 3rd on 42 points. Stealth Sloth, another shock who we've not yet got in. Currently P5, Dan, and he's another driver who we haven't seen the best of in recent seasons, but this season we're seeing what he can do. He's 2 points behind Ukbar and Welshie. DJ Phil Green in that Ginetta, currently P6 as well. Dean Wysocki, 7th place in his Mercedes-Benz. And the consistency of last season, was the Audi of, I think, Shenron and Dean just catching each other there. No, Bryn and Dean just catching each other there.
Yeah.
No, Shenron. No, it was Shenron. Catching Dean there. Dean, the consistency of the BMW last year and what we saw, a different Dean Wysocki. We haven't seen that same Dean Wysocki this season, so needs to get into it in that Mercedes-Benz. JM Grill back this week. He's P3. He's P8, sorry, at the moment. A point behind Dean Wysocki. Lucas Roth had a better Road America and a better outing through there. He is on 34 points. Shenron, debutant this season in P10 in the championships at the moment from a returning Holty who's on 26 points. And you have to say, not the best of Road Americas for Holty at all. Smithy in P12 on 13 points. That Bozzy Boy only on 7. Leon Fernie, Crath and Aidan Bennett yet to get off the mark. And the Constructors' Championship looks like this. The Super Crash Bros and Pick and Mix Motorsport are tied on points on 101 apiece. It's MC Motorsport who are in P3 ahead of Terminal Velocity Racing by 3 points. Teletubby Motorsport on 19 behind them. My Mate Racing of Liam and JM Grill P6. We're getting quicker, My Mate of Dean Wisocki and Leon Fernie P7. And our Sports Racing yet to get off the mark here in this one. So we come to Imola, rounds 5 and 6 of the season. And apologies for me and Dan, both sort of can't seem to shake this cough that we have.
I mean, yeah, it's just too much talking, you know. It really wears and tears your throat, you know. Trying to give you guys the best show and the best racing we can provide you with the greatest voice, obviously, on YouTube and all over the internet. And
in Asia and China, as I found out.
Yeah, but it's really starting to take a toll on our voices, and if you do hear us go a little bit, we're just trying to give you the best vocal ranges that we can possibly give you on the stream.
Indeed, we are. Then as we go into the 20-minute practice session, as always, followed by the 10-minute qualifying, and then the, what is tonight, 15-lap race, normally around about the half an hour mark, is the race distance tonight, and that is what we aim to bring you yet again. Race 1 and race 2 coming up a little later on, and both races look to be a cracking job. Dan, car tonight, Mercedes, Audi, Ginetta, Lamborghini. What is the pick of the cars? What are we fancying to do well?
We've got to look at the home favourite. We've got to look at the Italian, the Lamborghini here. I know a lot of people have been testing this car, and I've been enjoying it myself here at this circuit as well, and I feel like this car should be strong here. Another strong car which isn't on the grid at this precise minute would be the Porsche 911's always done well here, but I'm also thinking the Audi and possibly the Ginetta as well. Anything with a good chassis or good downforce could be possibly more of a good chassis. Downforce probably not as much, but more chassis-wise could be good round here. Ukbar could be looking for a good opportunity, but I think the Lamborghinis and the Audis are probably the hot favourite. There's no real long straights for the Mercedes to really use its grunt as such, but nonetheless, there could be an interesting night worth of racing in no matter what car is on track.
Indeed it could, and we hope that we can see what happens later on tonight. The Mercedes is a favourite of mine, and you'll see me out in it tomorrow night, so I hope it goes well tonight, because that'll give me confidence tomorrow going into that one, but we'll have to see what it can. It will have the grunt down this part of the track, no doubt, and it's currently Mercedes leading the way of Holty, a second clear at the moment, although it sounds to be a car off coming through turns 5 and 6, which is Villeneuve, and I'm not quite sure who that one is. This man though, Dan, what's he got to do tonight? Took control of the championship lead at Road America, now got a target on his back from the rest of the pack.
Little Leach has got to do what he's always done in pro, just take it race by race and keep it as consistent as he possibly can. We know he's not the top runner or winner as such in pro, but he does score the points when he needs to. He's very, very consistent like that, and I think Little Leach will know exactly what he needs to do. He just needs to get the grip of the Audi. Once he's got the grip of his car, I think Little Leach will be back at the top of the table. He may not be quickest now, but give him some time. Half a second up on this lap time, but he's still probably tweaking and making adjustments. He's a busy man now, he's a father.
He is indeed. Watch out for Holty. Can Holty get this right? And Lucas Roth, if he can come back into his self, the Teletubby Motorsport boys have a decent lineup for this one. Ukbar as well. If Ukbar gets it right, Dan, you know as well as I do that this man is a very, very fast driver. And if you look at that, Bryn just proving how good he's becoming in this Audi, mixing it at the top with these boys.
Yeah, currently not too far off the pace. He's 1.5 off the pace. We're looking at probably 45s, 46s is the pace that we want to be looking for the Pro-Ams. For pros, it's probably 43s to 44s. So these guys are already kind of in the ballpark. Most of the guys are still probably trying to get to grips of this circuit here at Imola, but what a circuit this track is. Heritability very famous, and also has a bad reputation to its name now after some dangerous events that happened back in 1994.
Yep, 94.
So it's got a bad reputation for actually not being. It wasn't that much of a dangerous circuit. Obviously, since now the track has been updated to more recent times, as Ukbar goes fastest in the middle sector so far. He's 8 tenths up on his best, which will put him fastest at the minute. And yeah, this circuit, I love Imola. I think it's one of the best circuits out there. and it's really challenging. There's loads of corners that can catch you out, and definitely a firm favourite of mine. I don't know about you, Matt.
Yeah, I enjoy Imola as well. And speaking of enjoying Imola, let's go on a lap of Ukbar then as he comes across the line and improves by 1.1 seconds to go quickest overall. Down into Bassa, through Bassa, sorry, and down into Tamburello we go. 2, 3 and 4, all named the same. And it's it's one of the sections that if you get wrong, you'll be like that Mercedes in the gravel. If you get it right and carry a lot of speed down here into Villeneuve, you'll be absolutely fantastic. And look at Ukbar, just carrying that speed, riding the curb, using the exit just about. As we come then down into the Tosa hairpin section of this track before a big steep climb uphill to what is kind of a double left-hander. And Piratella, if I've pronounced that one right. The double left-hander here. Again, a quick dab on the brake. You can use this runoff on exit. Make sure you've got 2 wheels on that curbing on the outside. And Ukbar not using as much as maybe he could to extend his run through Aquaminalori. And again, we climb back uphill. Another section that if you get it wrong, you're in a lot of trouble. And you remember a few seasons back, the only G coming through this section sideways, but somehow managed to hang on to it and get back up the hill. Now, the tricky chicane. Very, very difficult part of this circuit to get absolutely right. You nail it, you get a good run on the car in front as you head down towards the penultimate corners of Rivazza. The Rivazza 1 and Rivazza 2. The Italians love a good 1-2 section of the track. That is JM Grill just ruining Ukbar's lap a little bit there at the end.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like Ukbar was on a massively improvement there either. So Ukbar having to just bail out on his lap, but he wasn't on a quick one anyway. But that was a lap of Imola with Matimovic. So nice a little run through of the circuit there, Matt. Fun fact for you as well. The old Imola circuit back in the days of Schumacher and Alonso used to be a chicane on the exit there down the main straight. So that's what's been missed as well. And Tamburello actually used to be one swooping left-hander instead of a chicane, obviously due to Senna's incident back in 1995. 94. I keep thinking 5 because it was close to when I was born. 1994, when he had that incident there, he obviously since then the circuit's too dangerous to be going at that speed. So the corner has now been turned into a chicane to slow it down, because just on the outskirts of that wall is a river as such. So the circuit can't be actually pushed further wide. So that's why the chicane was put in instead.
There's also a beautiful memorial on the outside of Tamburello to Senna himself. Now let's just stay with Dean Wysocki. In fact, let's just jump on board Dean Wysocki, unless we can figure out who the car is coming up towards the chicane, because Emplav has just asked a question. Out the chicane, the green AstroTurf, is that identified as the curb, or what are the track limits? Well, if we stay on board Dean Wysocki, we will tell you the track limits as he comes up towards the chicane now. Dean, careful. We're rally driving it through this middle part of the track. We'll jump on to DJ Phil. And let's see, Dean has actually gone third fastest, 3 tenths off the back. So not bad. So you come up to the chicane. Through the chicane you go. The AstroTurf is AstroTurf. You want to be in within track limits? Stay within that white line, as DJ Phil got it horribly wrong. I think Lucas Roth was the next closest to it, wasn't he? Or Ukbar is actually. Ukbar just in front of Leon Fernie. So we'll try and hopefully get it for you again. You come up to the chicane. Nail the chicane as best you can. The AstroTurf is just AstroTurf. Normally the rule is two wheels on the curb. That is AstroTurf. You've got to have 2 wheels over the white line. So you've got to be on the track at all times through that section, as Lucas Roth proves there by putting 2 wheels over. So either way, you've got to have 2 wheels on the track. If there's curb there, if there's the red and white painted curb, that's fine to have 2 wheels on it. If there's no curb, you've got to stay within the white lines. Evening though, 2. Mother Davis, Dean Wysocki, Holty on Orthodubs, Welshie, PN Motorsport, M Plover, Max Mulder in the chat, and Gary131 as well, who says, evening lads, defo got my racing mojo back, buzzing for tomorrow. I don't know if that's because he ran out of fuel or not, Dan.
Either way, I'm not happy he's got his mojo back. Either way. I'm not happy with a few things that happened last night according to cards, but hey, we'll move on. I found out that the Astra is heavily hindered, as I figured out, as the Megane is OP. No, it's nice to see Gary getting his mojo back. Nice to see him actually get a wheel that works. Logitech all either way. No, it's nice to see Gary finally back in his groove. Would be nice to see him in his Porsche instead of in this horrible Mercedes, and he might actually be back to his normal paces as normal. Nice to see Max Mulder as well. He's going to be making his debut tomorrow night in the Pro. So hello to him, and we'll see how he gets on in the Pro category. It's a bit daunting, I know myself, jumping straight into Pro. So all I would say, mate, is just go out, enjoy it, and try your best, really. Just learn from the drivers around you and get into the flow of things. As but still, just off the pace now, as Holty went fastest overall with 44.7. He's now kind of dipping into the Pro pace. As you can see, there are a few guys in the pits, but it's always we're not happy with me helping you. Thanks, man. Thanks a lot.
That's brilliant.
I wasn't going to mention nothing as Lucas Roth is doing some donuts.
Yeah, I think he's recovering from a spin there, isn't he?
I blame the Astra. I blame the Astra. It's all I can blame.
As Stealth Sloth has got himself into the session as we move swiftly on and back to tonight. 21 people watching. Guys, girls, hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you are new and hit that bell to be notified, as well as we'll be back live with Dan Davis and Jamie Brazier in the commentary box tomorrow night for the pros around Imola themselves. Holty at the minute in the 44s. And he's quite a way away ahead of Ukbar and JM Grill with Lucas Roth 4th. Dean Wisocki 5th. And DJ Phil having a pace in the Ginetta at the moment, putting him 6th. If you're Little Leach, you're a bit wary about being P8 at this moment in time.
Yeah, but I think he's still just trying to get to grips with things. You know, he said that he was testing the hard tyre at Sakito and it didn't work for him, and then he put the softs on and it seemed to work. The problem is now, we're coming into the summer seasons, and especially in a place like Imola and in Italy and other circuits like that, that's definitely off-track limits there, Little Leach.
Wow.
So, the green AstroTurf is definitely not where you want to be, and he's 1.4 up at this lap time, so that will be reviewed if he does that in qualifying or in the race. That's a prime example of not what to do, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, indeed. You know, when we did the track limits guide, I'm glad we caught Little Leach here, because that one is not what to do. As well, Sheik currently down in 9th, and Leon Fernie down in 12th place at the minute. On only just under a second, off the back of Shenron, who looks like he's off the pace a little bit here. Clearly, Imola not suiting Shenron for this one, but it's nice to see Stealth Sloth back out there for this first race tonight, as well as he will try and move on up the standing order as well. So 13 drivers in, no Aidan Bennett, no Krath, no that Buzzy boy. But either way, 13 drivers for what should be a fascinating night around this Imola circuit. Here in Italy, 4.95 kilometre circuit, 8 left-handers, 5 right-handers, and a lot of emotion as Little Leach's time there goes within just under a tenth of Holty. But obviously, if he does that in qualifying with that kind of line, then obviously that would have to be reviewed and looked at going further on. Then, evening to Smithy in the chat as well. PN Motorsport ordering a new controller as he smashed the one on Sunday. You've got a feel for PN, who's running in a good position and dropped it on the curb himself, as Bryn just posts the fastest final sector by a tenth of a second, and JM Grill posts the fastest first sector. So 2 drivers then on better laps. Bryn didn't improve on his time. That's well within track limits. He might not improve on his lap time, though, this time around.
No, probably not. I think he's actually down. Yeah, he's down by half a second. So,
wonder where he got the extra time from.
Do you know what? Just as Little Leach goes into that penultimate corner, I vaguely remember I believe a Sutty Apex hit the back of him and launched him into the house that's just at the end of the road.
He did, yes. Yes, he did. A couple of seasons back, we caught that one live on the camera.
I was behind, and I was chuckling to myself for that one.
You had an epic race with D Biggs around here, didn't you, in one season where you and D Biggs just pulled before you became teammates?
Well, that's when we made the deal. That's when we spat on our hands, shook each other's hands, and said, "That is it. Shake and Bake Motorsport going to take 3 constructors titles." But yeah,
I love that. Then DJ Phil currently in P7 at this moment in time as he comes up. 1 minute 50 left then of this practice session in this one.
Oh, I see. It's very difficult if he's touching the white line. It might have to be deemed within track limit. It's very tricky though, this chicane. It's hard to get right.
It's a bit like cricket when the batsman's in the crease. Is the line of the crease in cricket the batsman's or the bowler's? And normally they favour to the batsman and say that if your foot is on it, you're within your crease, not over it, on it. I think it's going to have to be the same tonight. If the tyres are on the white line, you're just within. I think you're off the line is over the line is pushing it a little bit. This man, Purple Sector 1, as he comes to the end of his lap, and green middle sector. So are we about to see Dean, who 39 litres of fuel, are we about to see a bit of an improvement and go within a second of Holty out front? He comes to the line now, his teammate's just behind him, and Dean Wasocki posts a lap time of... Wow! Hello!
That's it. That's impressive, but the question is, can he do that in qualifying?
Can he do that consistently?
Has he taken the whole 20 minutes to finally get synced up and ready to go? Can he do it within 10 minutes and put it on pole position? That is the question. But Dean Wasocki, currently fastest overall. But he's only found 200s. Holty could easily find that somewhere.
He could indeed, and the thing to see there with Dean is, and which is rather nice, Dan, that me and you have to say, is he's running 40 litres of fuel at that point in time. Not quali fuel, as we've come to see and expect Dean to run in practice. But hey, could we have a challenge for pole position in this one? Dean has qualified well this season, if I remember rightly. He has been on the front row at Sakito in a 9th and a 5th at Road America. Obviously, the 9th place was because he couldn't qualify for race 1 at Road America. So he has actually had a decent qualifying sessions all season, but he needs to convert that into race points for his championship. Ukbar then will be one of the first men to finish. There is only him, Phil and Welshie left on a lap. Stelfsloth did post a lap, but currently 6.3 off, but he didn't have much time in the car. Here comes Ukbar to the line then. And any improvement for him... yeah, I think a slight one. Yeah, a couple of tenths. DJ Phil didn't improve, I don't think, there. And that then is your practice session done. Dean Wasocki by 200ths of a second and a tenth from Little each. All right, well, half a second from Ukbar and 200ths from Holty will leave Little Leach's time alone. Can Dean Wasocki get this pole position? There is a poll going out at the moment, so get your votes in. Dan, your prediction?
I honestly don't know. I don't think it's going to be Little Leach, as he apologised in the chat that he hit track limits and he was testing. But I really don't know. It's difficult to say. I don't think Dean can do it, personally. I think it's going to be Holty for pole. Personally.
Yeah, I'm going to say the same thing. I think Holty is the man for pole position. And we will wait and see.
I think for this season... Dean needs to prove a bit more to me this season. I think in the past we've given him driver of the day for good drives, and then he's never delivered after. So
yes.
I feel like he really needs to improve for me this season as a season, not race by race. To me, he needs to prove that he can stick it back in pro. He has been there before. He just needs to find that consistency, and I think the problem is he needs a car that he's happy with. It's just been in a different car every round. If you look at myself or Andy or yourself, Matt, as well, and others, for example, the Leachy boys, once you stick to a car you know and you get comfortable with it, you're quick.
You look at Argent. Argent in the Pro-Am had 4 seasons in the Mercedes. Sorry, 1 season in the Mercedes in Pro, then 3 in the Pro-Am, and then came back up to Pro and had another season in the Mercedes. And Argent last season was pretty decent in the Mercedes, got some decent results early on. Yeah. And I go back to something that Kelly used to say. And I said it a few times last season. You don't have to be quick in this group of cars in the Pro-Am. You've just got to be consistent. And this is where, and like you say, we've given Dean, a pat on the back and a driver of the day and a congratulations, well done, 1 week, and the week after, it's all gone horribly wrong. So he does need to work on that consistency. But hey, we could be wrong, we could be surprised. He could show it to us tonight. The first man out on track is DJ Phil. Lucas Roth not yet got out there for qualifying at the moment. So far, Holty and Little each are tied on 38% of the votes.
I think if Dean is going to be happy with his season, he needs to finish top 5 again.
Needs to back up what he did last year.
Yes.
Yeah.
With a much more difficult grid as such, with Little each returning, the likes of JM Grill as well, Lucas Roth, Welshie on his day, Bryn stepped up as well, Ukbar is now back in that opportunity. Yeah. It's a much more difficult grid, and even his nephew, that Buzzy Boy, when he is on it, DJ Phil bails out of it before he hits the wall. But it's going to be a more difficult season for Dean. It's not like you're bracing against the people who are similar to ability. Everyone's stepped up. Yeah. And your drivers who've come down and have to prove themselves, i.e. this man here, Little each, has to prove that he's worthy of going back in pro again.
And like last year, Dan, you had myself and Emplava who kind of ran away with it, and it was a fight for third place. Ukbar, Smokey, Welshie, Dean, that was fighting for them places when Ben Parky and Laney wasn't there. And Smokey Devil was the one that took the opportunity, and Dean had good consistent races at times, but never for third or fourth place, for like fifth and sixth. Like you say, with these drivers, Holty, Lucas Roth, Bozzy Boy coming back, Little Each coming down, Ukbar and Bryn stepping up their games, JM Grill coming into it, Welshie stepping up his game, Bryn as well. Dean has got a monumental task ahead of him, but he's got to prove to himself that he can do it.
It's all well and good being good on the day, but you've got to have an overall picture. You might have one lovely bit of part of the painting, but if the rest of the painting's horrid, no one's going to look at it.
100%.
But at the end of the day, if you looked at mine and Andy's season last season, Andy was easily favoured. He had most wins. He had most points. He had the best rounds. He had more podiums. But I was just a little bit more consistent. Even though, yes, I lost my double points. I lost out and dropped score. But I was constantly scoring points every single round in the podium, most race wins as well. It's not just one round you've got to focus on. You've got to focus on the whole picture. As Little Each sets the benchmark of a 44.9. So it's a lot of work for Dean this season to prove that he is worth keeping an eye on. And I'm trying to find out as Dean's pitted.
He's coming into the pit. So has he had a problem somewhere or along the line? Obviously, Dean has got a lot to prove tonight. What about Shenron, who's already improved his time over the in terms of the practice session? Now 5 seconds off the pace, not 8, but still a second off the back of Stealth Loft. Here comes Bryn and JM Grill to the line then, and just looking at the sector times, not bad from Bryn in the middle sector, but that first sector he just lost a bit of time to JM Grill. Was quicker though over JM Grill in that middle sector. Where's this going to put Bryn to the line? I forget how long this line is because it's shorter in F1 and it's longer on this, and it's actually 6 seconds off the pace. I must have had a bad lap. Holty, fastest though in the middle sector and 4/10 off the back a Little Each. Smithy currently sitting P3. What about Leon Fernie to the line? P6 at the moment. Ukbar, not yet set a time. He'll look to be up there as well. Can he get ahead of Smithy? No, that must be an outlap. DJ Phil off as well.
See, I think a lot of these lap times, Matt, do you see Leon Fernie just facing the wrong way in the background as well? A lot of these times are going to be produced on the second lap, especially if it's the hard tyre, if these guys are qualifying on. The hard tyre does take a couple of laps. It tends to be lap 2 or 3 is the best lap. Especially I found with the Porsche 911, it tends to be better on the second or third lap.
Same with the Mercedes.
Same with... sometimes it's the same with the soft tyre. It's all about getting that car into the right pressure window. I know for a fact that Andy tends to put his pressures quite high when he does a qualifying run, so he does that low fuel. But if you run the Lamborghini like Welshie is, the car doesn't like low fuel. It's very unbalanced. It feels unpredictable. But the Mercedes carries the weight a bit better, so you can run it low fuel and it not be a wobble.
Well, let's keep an eye on the Mercedes of this man. Purple Sector 1, Purple Sector 2. Looks like he's got Sector 3 hooked up at the moment as well. And now, down the start-finish straight, it is actually Leon Fernie in P6 who's the quickest through the final sector. But this man, Lucas Roth, a.k.a. Keegs, looks like he's on for a stellar lap here. And we've not seen the best from him for a while. And is this going to be the best from Keegs? And it is the best from Keegs, a 44.5 and goes 4/10 quicker than Little Each. And now it's game on for the rest of the chaps to get that pace and find a decent lap time. Phil and Dean still not done a time at the moment. Here comes JM Grill, an improvement and up to 5th place.
Here comes the improvements. People are improving their lap times. Ukbar now in the Ginetta. Takes a lap or two to get going. Towards the line, has he improved? DJ Phil will set a lap time. That's his out lap. But here comes Ukbar. And he goes P3. The lap times are getting quicker. People are now starting to get tyre temperature.
They are indeed. Welshie to the line. He's not gone any better there. And I'm just looking at the timing screens at the minute.
Here comes Holty.
Holty's not on a best lap. A sector time of 1:41 in the first sector would indicate this is an out lap. But Stealth Sloth is up in the first sector, and is he going to be personal best in that middle sector? Currently down in P8, just ahead of Dean Wisocki. Can he get this time on the board? 2.5 minutes remaining, so drivers coming to the back end of their runs. The track rubbering up nicely. The conditions getting better for these cars to go round this circuit. Dean Wisocki towards the middle sector as well. Stealth Sloth's time at the middle sector. Not sure where he's come through. Just gone through it. Green again, but down by 11 seconds. So I don't know what's gone off there. In fact, no, his first sector is a 46 seconds. It's just updated, so no, he's well down on his time.
JM Grill exiting the chicane there, a chicane alter as he heads towards the final few corners here. He's currently down on his lap time. Dean, what is he on? He's 4.3 up on his best. That should put him relatively high up on the order. I think that would drop him in between Smithy and Holty. Smithy, best of the back runners so far. He's currently fifth at the minute, 3 seconds off the pace, but he's ahead of the rest of them. And it's nice to see Nikki in the chat and says hello from the Prolapse boys. We do miss them, boys.
We do miss them indeed, as well as Fury's mum in the chat and Peaceful Stepdad. So a very good evening to them too. As well as here comes Dean Wisocki, 4.3 up through the middle sector. What's it going to be at the line? 4.5 and goes P4 between Ultbar and Holty then. 7/10 off the back of Lucas Roth. And Lucas Roth, Keegs has set the timing screens alight with his lap time that he did. And what can Little Leach do as he's coming to the line now? Any improvement for this man as he needs a couple of tenths, just under half a second to put it on pole position. He'll get one more run at this and no improvement this time around. One man that's qualified a bit poorly in this one is Bryn down in P12.
Yeah, Bryn at the minute just doesn't seem to find the pace. Maybe this is a better lap from him. Maybe he just hasn't had the lap that he needed, but towards the line he comes. It's just a better lap from him. And I think this Audi just needs a bit of time to be worked in. He does. 5 seconds. That puts him up to the 6th place position. DJ Phil was next to come across the line, and he's dragging Holty with him. Has Holty improved? No, he was on an on lap. So Lucas Roth, he's got a little bit of a toe now from the back of Leon Fernie.
He has indeed. Doesn't improve. That then is Little Leach or Smithy. I think coming to the line, it's Smithy who improves by just half a tenth, but that puts him that little bit closer to Oshie. No, it doesn't. He's gave up on that one. So is Shenron and Ukbar. They are done for qualifying. Everybody on their last lap. There's a car coming into Ravazza. I believe that's Stealth Sloth, who might... I don't think he's got the run out Ravazza that he'd have needed there. I think that is going to be it for Stealth Sloth qualifying. Any improvement on a P10. Needs 1.7 seconds to go ahead of JM Grill. What can he do as he gets to the line? No improvement for Stealth Sloth. The next one I do believe was Dean Wisocki coming towards the line. Or at least Dean was round that car who was coming to the line. I'm sure he was. As we go back to Leon Fernie, that's Welshie. JM Grill improves to P6. Dean doesn't improve either.
He does improve, but he doesn't go any higher. That was the problem. He found a 10th, but that was it. He couldn't get any closer to Ukbar. So far, Lucas Roth is on pole position. One man can stop him, and that is Little Leach. Welshie currently on the lap as well. Welshie is got a little bit of damage to the front of that car, but towards the line he comes. He doesn't find any more time. Little Leach.
Oh, he goes within 2 tenths. And how close is that? Now then, Leon Fernie and Lucas Roth then still on a lap. Lucas Roth has bailed on that one. And that looks like it's going to be pole position for Lucas Roth. P1 in this one. And I do believe that could be his first pole position of his career here at Simplay Motorsports. So a good start for him. DJ Phil to the line. Can he improve on P13? He can. He goes P10.
Wow, DJ Phil finding out a little bit of time left in him. And Leon Fernie, the last man to cross the line. What has he managed to do? Has he found enough time? We'll find out in a moment. But I think that's Lucas Roth on pole position.
It is Lucas Roth on pole position. Then from Dean Wisocki on the grid. From Little Leach with Ukbar and Dean Wisocki then on row 2. It will then be Holty and JM Grill. Bryn from Welshie. Smithy, DJ Phil. Leon Fernie, Stealth Sloth and Shenron at the back for this first race of the evening. And of course, if you do like what you see here, please hit that like button, subscribe if you are new, and hit that bell to be notified as well. As Dan, your tip for this race win is?
Oh, I really don't know. I really don't know. I thought it was going to be Holty on pole position, but it's actually his teammate who stuck it on pole. The problem is with Keegs, once he's on it, he is on it. And I think it's going to be very difficult to look past him. I think any of the top 3 could probably have it. So Lucas Roth, Little Leach and Ukbar all could possibly take this race win here this evening. I'm going to go with Lucas Roth.
I'm going to go then for Little Leach. New poll up for who you think will win race 1. And this, I can tell you, is... Where is Keegs? On the standings. There he is. That is his second pole position at Simplay Motorsport. Can you believe that? All the races that this man has done, and he's only got 2 pole positions to his name. This man is yet to win a race here at Simplay Motorsport.
surprise, isn't it? Keith's been here for so long and he still hasn't had a race win. And he's had some amazing teammates in the past. Well, I say some. But most of them all bailed on him. But maybe this is the season that Keys can finally get the love back for racing again. He's got a brand new go-kart that he's been testing with his dad, Welshie. And he's really starting to, I think, feel the love for motorsport once again. Bit of bad luck last night in the touring cars, but I think it's all changed here so far in Imola. I do not want to curse him, but I was going to say Ukbar, but every time I say Ukbar, he has a dreadful race. So sadly, Keeks, I'm giving you the bad luck.
Indeed, that is the Mercedes-Benz AMG's 47th Pro-Am pole position. And we have 3 red lights. And it's green and go. Who gets the best launch? Dean Wysocki looks like he's got a decent start as he's dropped Ukbar already in the top 3. Are all the way relatively well. Shenron in the background looking to just wait into turn 1. And Little Each round the outside. Dean gives Lucas Roth a bump, which gives Little Each a bump. And that has caused chaos. Oh, no!
Oh my god. Absolute chaos into turn 1, and the top 3 are affected. Ukbar, Little Leach, and Keegs all affected by that. That's another car off. That's
Shenron.
Yep. Gone round as well. And it all started off by Dean breaking into turn 1 and just tapping the back of the cars.
And Dean then leads the way. He's got away at the moment. And look at Bryn, who was mid-packing this start of this race, and Smithy, both attacking JM Grill. And Bryn up into second place, can hunt down after his teammate from last season. Smithy bumping door to door with JM Grill as they come into the next corner. Smithy looking for that podium place at the minute. And Bryn here can hunt down after his former teammate. It's Mercedes Audi, Ginetta. DJ Phil has gone with him. And you have to say, Dean there just a day late and $1 short on the brakes into turn 1. And all these drivers have got a lot of work to do. The pit window opens at the end of lap 4. And the Teletubby Motorsport boys of Holty and Lucas Roth, 7th and 8th already. What can they do in a recovery for this one?
That's a lot of work for them, but by the other things, most of the cars have managed to go away with very limited damage at this stage. So far, so good. If you are Dean Wasaki, who is leading this race, Shenron is off again, so he must be carrying some form of damage. But it's Dean who leads away from Bryn, from JM Grill, from Smithy, from DJ Phil, from Holty, and Leon Fernie. Lucas Roth and Ukbar's gone round with Little Leach now looking to get past.
Welshie!
Gone straight on.
What has happened to Welshie there? I tell you what, Dan, we failed to mention, in the practice session, there's a bump on the braking zone into Ravazza 1, and has that caught Welshie out here as Little Each, I think, gave Ukbar the place back, and Holty just chopping the nose of Leon Fernie there as Keegs is in the background. Here comes Leon Fernie on the brakes. And well wide at turn 1. Smithy then has had a problem as well. And Dean Wysocki! We speak about the consistency from Dean, and it has already let him down. Shenron to the pits. Must have bad damage. Dean has already been let down. And look who leads this race once again.
Yeah, Bryn once again keeping his nose clean. He said to us in the mid-session before the actual start of the race, all he's looking for is to find the car comfortable and consistent and just keep it on track. And look what is rewarding him. He's leading here at Imola in the Audi, ahead of JM McGrill. His next closest rival is Little Leach, and he's stuck in this squabble.
He is stuck in this squabble. That's Leon Fernie, then Ukbar, then Little Leach, and Little Leach! And you have to say, from the 2 times Constructors Pro Champion, that is a rookie mistake there. Way too late on the brakes, and that has gifted Dean Wysocki another place, and Ukbar once again caught up in the wrong place, wrong time. And he now drops to P9 as Dean fighting his way back up to P7. Shenron just exiting the pits. That has been a horrible first lap and a horrible pit stop for Shenron there.
Yeah, not the best start for him at all. But DJ Phil currently in third place position. He's benefited from that as well. All the carnage. Leon Fernie now ahead of this squabble of cars again. As Ukbar is currently right behind him as well, as the cameraman doesn't want to kind of focus on anything right now. So good stuff from them. But look at Holty's run out the final corner. He could be in the boot of that Ginetta.
Has to have a little lift there before he put it in the boot of the Ginetta. And Holty knows he's got the momentum and the speed over the Ginetta in a straight line. Lucas Roth must have a bit of damage because he's not got the same effects. Clearly waiting for that pit window to open. DJ Phil goes defensive into the first part of Tamburello. Now into the second part and the third. And DJ Phil there looks like he's got the better run out of it than Holty. And I tell you what, Bryn. Oh, Phil, a big wiggle there from DJ Phil. Look at the gap that Bryn has generated over that second lap. He is head down and away. This man on the back of Ukbar for P10 and P9 in this one. Ukbar's got it wrong. Leon Fernie's got it wrong. And I think Ukbar into the back of Leon Fernie, and the two MC Motorsport Lamborghinis both pick up an extra place.
Yeah, they do pick up another place. DJ Phil, while he's got the pressure of the two Teletubby boys racing right on his back bumper, are pushing him so that he can get closer to JM Grill. JM Grill not got the pace at the minute to stay ahead of him, as DJ Phil runs a bit wide through that left-hander there. So he's really under some pressure from Holty. And Lucas Roth just sat there. As he's got damage, he's just picking them off one by one, waiting to pounce.
Oh!
He dropped it.
Round he goes, coming up through the double right-hander, and he's got to flick it back around. He's now got to patiently wait for Smithy to go. I don't think Dean's anywhere to be seen. No, he's not, because looking at the standings, Dean's had another moment. So has Leon Fernie, his teammate, and what was looking so good for the Getting Quicker My Mate team is now turned into disaster. These two have quietly gone about their business, and we've lost Shenron in this race.
We have lost Shenron. That would be a qualifying ban for the next round, as we are trying to urge drivers to finish.
So Welshie on the back of Self-Sloth, 9th and 8th. Now we've also, lost Leon Fernie here.
As now Lucas Roth is onto the back of DJ Phil. We know that Leon Fernie, probably a disconnection, might be a retirement. I don't actually know. We'll have to look into that one. But Lucas Roth now onto the back of DJ Phil, when he clobbers the back of him. And Lucas Roth is cruising. I think he's probably trying to wait for DJ Phil, but it depends how quick DJ Phil is going to take to get back on track.
Yeah, I think he initially.
Now open.
Yeah, I think he initially went to wait for DJ Phil, but saw that Phil had to wait for oncoming traffic, and I don't think Lucas Roth wanted to be in the way of that traffic. But Bryn 4 seconds out front from JM Grill, now from Lucas Roth. Smithy back into P4 in this race.
Yeah, Smithy's just consistently making his way through the pack.
Welshie's had a moment.
I think Welshie's got damage. He's trying to carry that damage to the pit window, which is now open at the end of lap 4. But Bryn, once again, keeping his nose clean, staying out of trouble, and he is out leading the way.
Indeed he is then, and what can he do in this race? Currently just pumping in 47s, and that's all he needs to do at the minute. He's quicker than the cars behind him. Bryn is the quickest man out on track at the moment. Smithy messing up his braking zone there, and has got a Holty really coming down on him. DJ Phil trying to make up places, as is Little Each. I've got a feeling, Dan, at the end of this 4th lap, we're going to see quite a few cars in the pit lane, as a few are carrying damage in this one. And Dean coming into the corner, is he damaged, or did he just make too many mistakes?
That is the question. And also, with the way the rules and regulations work here, both drivers can't be at the pits at the same time, one car at a time. So who is going to opt to pit? Bryn is staying out. JM Grill stays out. Lucas Roth, does he decide to pit? No, he's staying out as well. So he hasn't got significant damage. He's quite happy to carry whatever he's got.
Yeah.
Smithy carries on, as does Holty. DJ Phil waxes in the final corner. Does DJ Phil get his pit stop out of the way? No, so does Little Each. They all staying out. So as Matt was saying, they're thought there's going to be loads of cars coming in. All of them staying out so far.
Very surprising.
As does Dean as well. So maybe these guys don't seem to be suffering with damage as badly as this man here, who seems to be carrying a lot of damage. He just can't seem to find any pace at the minute.
I think Ukbar's coming in. Ukbar is in, yeah. So Ukbar in, and Welshie looks like he's going to follow him as well then. So what was meant to be a lot has turned into just 2 cars in this race at the moment. Nicky, I forgot to call you. Apologies for that. I'll give you a tinkle tomorrow. Yeah, no problem, Nicky. No worries indeed. But Smithy currently P4 and defending here from Holty. DJ Phil in 6th place with Little Each right behind him. But what damage are these boys carrying? Bryn out front again, the quickest man last lap in the 46ers. He is just really cruising.
I wouldn't say cruising. He's probably pushing a little bit too hard than I actually think he should be doing. A 46.8. He's extending the gap to GM Grill, who's doing a fantastic job of holding his position as well. Lucas Roth probably carrying a bit of damage, but he's probably trying to go as far as he possibly can with it. Smithy is behind him with Holty not too far behind, and DJ Phil is in the next closest fight with Little H, who gets a great run out of the double apex right-hander, and he's coming towards the chicane of Outer. Can he get a good exit out the corner? Can he make sure he keeps it on track, not like he did in practice?
And he does well. We look at the difference in the two cars there, Dan, as well. Taking a lot of curb was Little Each, and DJ Phil barely touching the curbs, and Little Each has an almighty run down towards Ravazza 1 and Ravazza 2, and Phil all under the brakes as squirrely as you can be. And is that Phil round? It is, and Little Each avoids him. The most important thing at the moment is Welshie got out of the pits just ahead of Bryn, so for Welshie he's on the lead lap.
Yeah, but for how long? This is the thing. He can fight it if he wants to, but not too hard. Little Each into the pits. Obviously, he can try and stay in front, but he's not allowed to defend nor attack the lead cars. This is something that has been reminded to all drivers. Once you are being caught by the leader, you can hold position and stay on the racing line, but just do not aggressively defend or attack, as you're just pretty much just wasting your own energy.
Yeah. Dean then has dropped behind Stove Sloth, so Dean's race going from bad to worse in terms of his Mercedes performance, in terms of what was a good qualifying, going the wrong way for him. Holty on the back of Smithy still, and I tell you what, this boy you could tell was learning from me last year, because he just started to pick up little defensive manoeuvres, and he'll be learning from Little Each this season as well. And Smithy every week always finishes, never says die, does Smithy. And he's one of the guys that just puts in the hard work, and it's paying off here. What has happened to Bryn, though? The gap has come down to 1.5 seconds here. He's got damage.
He's hit a wall. Has he hit the double right-hander, touched the curb and gone round? Very easy to do. Multiple of us tried it in practice and gone into that wall. JM Grill looks like he'd be possibly leading this race after this, as Bryn will have to pit this lap.
You'd imagine so. It looks like he was struggling down the hill, Dan. That surprises me. Now that surprises me.
I don't know what he's trying to think here. You might as well just get the damage done and recover what you can in the pits and on track. As Holty, he knows he's got the pace, and like I said, Matt, he's just pushing too hard than he needed to. It's now a 10th. As Jemgo goes down the inside and misses his braking, he goes wide. That's going to help him out. But the man who's going to be helping out massively is Lucas Roth. Could we be seeing Keegs possibly getting his first race win after, was it 6 seasons here at Simplay Motorsport?
In fact, he's had, where is he? 62 race starts. This is his 63rd race start. No race wins for Keegs at this moment in time. But the JM Grill there, a bit of door bumping with Bryn, and completely missed his braking zone and off into the gravel. His own little mistake. And if I was Bryn, I'd be pitting at the end of this lap. Dean's got past Stove Sloth for 7th and 8th, and they can hunt down after DJ Phil. They are starting to close that gap on Phil, and Holty still cannot get past Smithy at the minute.
Yeah, whatever Smithy's doing, I think if he's on the wheel, it looks like pad actually movement there. That looks like pad movement. But if he was on the wheel, he's pretty much learning it pretty quick. But I think that's pad work there. But Smithy is starting to get the hang of this Audi a little bit by the looks of things here at Imola.
Completely driving a better race than his teammate. But his teammate's pitted though at the moment, so we'll have to see when Smithy comes into the pits. But Smithy's pit stop should be a decent one. No damage to Smithy's car, I don't think, as they come down towards the chicane once again. And Holty just has to wait behind and has a slow run out as Smithy can't get the power down. He does now, and Holty just gets a bit of a poor run as he has to be patient for Smithy there. And Bryn coming through Ravazza now. Are we going to see this man dive to the pit lane? Yes, we are.
He is into the pits. That has allowed Keegs through. No, Lucas Roth pits at the same time as Bryn. So is this tactical from him to try and jump him in the pits?
I think so. Where's Smithy? I can't see Smithy. He's had a problem.
Not sure what's happened there. Maybe a little spin on his own, but that's allowed Holty back through. So it's now JM Grill who leads this race from Holty, from Smithy, who will now go back up into that 3rd place position. And Dean Masaki choosing not to pit. Stove Sloth, but DJ Phil is coming into the pits also.
He is indeed, and I think that was very, very tactical. DJ Phil's been disqualified!
Oh, DJ Phil, no.
He's came into the pit lane too hot. Lucas Roth, has he jumped Bryn in the pits?
Yeah, he has. Obviously, I don't know what damage Keeks had. It might be minimal damage that he's had, but he's managed to get going. Bryn wasn't the slowest of pit stops, but here at Imola, this pit lane is very, very long. They've cleared Little Each by quite a margin. Actually, Bryn might get a bit of pressure from Little Each because he will be a bit slow to get going. Bryn will have literally at full whack as Dean seems to be struggling. Oh no, that's still Sloth having a spin.
Yep, Stelfsloth having a spin. Dean back up to 4th and can see Smithy in front of him. So DJ Phil speeding in the pit lane. We've lost Shenron. We've lost Leon Ferdy. JM Grill leads from Holty. What happened to Smithy? But he's on the podium at the minute. And it is your top 5 who are yet to pit in this race. Ukbar 14 seconds off the back of Little Leach, who's 2 seconds off the back of Bryn. And Bryn some 5 seconds off the back of Lucas Roth as the pit stops are starting to play out. At this moment, you reckon, what, about 35 to 40 seconds maybe for a pit stop here?
Around now, yeah, it's quite a long.
So JM Grill could
on the damage as well.
JM Grill could sort of split Lucas Roth and Bryn.
He could possibly do so, but Lucas Roth at this stage is 31 seconds off the back of JM Grill. JM Grill is into the pits. He's made sure he's got that stop, so he's got to make sure that he's able to jump these boys. But I think it's going to be difficult to get Lucas Roth, possibly Bryn.
We'll have to keep our eyes on this. And 32 people watching the stream. Guys, girls, thank you so much. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel if you are new. JM Grill in the pits then. What can he do? Smithy comes in as well as Dean decides to carry on his way. You hear the roar of the Mercedes pulling off. JM Grill is away here and Stelfsloth has his nephew pouncing on the back of him. And Keegs, with Stelfsloth pitting, is he going to get past JM Grill and possibly be the net leader of this race? It's going to be a tight one. JM Grill now off the limiter, but Keegs at 250 kilometres an hour is back in front and is in the net lead of this race. Little Leach has got past Bryn, and Bryn, has he got past Smithy? Yes, he has. So Bryn losing out to JM Grill and losing out to Smithy, and losing out to Little Leach, so that's possibly cost him his podium. But you have to say here that for Lucas Roth, it's net lead of this race.
It is net lead, and he knows exactly what he needs to do. He just needs to keep it calm, smooth, and collected. Keegs knows how to do that. And we see DJ Phil leave the session there as he's just messaged me saying he struggled to get the car to slow down before the pit limiter. But hey, that's why practice sessions are there. And I always try and get into a habit. I don't know about you, Matt, but doing it proper F1 style, go out on track, learn actually the pit lanes and the exits so that you can be prepared for racing. As Lucas Roth leads this race, Holty and Dean coming to the final few sectors.
You've got to do it, Dan. You've got to practice the pit entry and exit. You've just got to do it. You need to know where you've got to stay on the pit exit. You need to know how quick you can take the pit entrance. As this man, oh, careful on the grass. Get it slow, get it slowed. And he does just that. But that was a heart-in-mouth moment there. Now, Dean Wysocki should take the lead of this race unless he pits. And we are expecting Lucas Roth to come round and take the lead overall. Kota next week, Nicky, is the next track for what's happening in the Pro-Am. And Dean Wysocki has to pit, but he's so far going to stay out on track and try and extend his gap over the other cars. Holty being hauled a while here. Maybe a bit of damage on his car. Keegs should get past him, no problems. What about JM Grill, Little Leach and Bryn? Can they get past Holty?
Well, JM Grill a little bit slow this lap. He's not been able to stick with Lucas Roth. Keegs has been able to extend that gap. And now JM Grill is really not close enough. Where is Holty going to pop out? Holty's near at the pit exit. He's done really well here. JM Grill will go past. Little Leach will go past. He won't be too far behind those boys, but he does clear Bryn, which is important.
It is important. He does clear Bryn as Little Leach and JM Grill both get up another place. Dean Wysocki then still to pit. And I tell you what, if you're Dean Wysocki, you're not going to like what's happened.
He's had an incident somewhere. He's lost a massive amount of time. Lucas Roth was quite a way off behind. Now he's only two and a half seconds behind him.
You're not going to be happy on where Dean's going to come out if you're Dean Wysocki. You're going to feed yourself in between Ukbar and Stelfsloth here as Little Leach is looking to pounce on the back of JM Grill for what is a net second place. Holty not too far off the back, and neither is Bryn. A couple of mistakes for these guys and it could all change around, but so far Lucas Roth, what has happened to Smithy then? A moment for him coming through Villeneuve, and he has got that's pad. He's on the pad.
Yeah, after a couple of times testing on the wheel, he just doesn't seem to be confident. And I think the summer seasons is definitely the hardest season to learn it because you have to learn the hard tyre. And the hard tyre is such a difficult tyre to get in that window where it's at its best performance. So probably a smart move for Smithy to go back to the pad, just try and enjoy the racing, and possibly use the winter season to possibly use the wheel and get to grips with it.
Now, Dan, question for you. Dean Wysocki 1.7 clear of Lucas Roth at the minute. If you're Dean, do you pop it in the pits knowing that Lucas Roth isn't your fight? He's not going to, but what would you have done in that situation?
I would have pitted as soon as possible. You're losing time. You're not gaining. You're losing. On this lap, the previous lap, he done a 150.2. I know he was slower this lap. Yeah, 55.8. He's losing time consistently. Keegs, on the other hand, is as DJ Phil reckons he's going to get a qualifying ban for speeding in the pit lane.
Oh, Dean's made a mistake, and Lucas Roth have made a mistake. Their own individual errors into Tamburello then, and here comes JM Grill and Lidleach, and Dean Wysocki once again has made another error, and that could put him behind Stealth Sloth. He still currently leads this race from Lucas Roth, from JM Grill, from Lidleach. Dean needs to get this in the pit sooner rather than later. Because at the minute, look at Lidleach gets the run, and a wiggle from JM Grill as they come into the toes of hairpin.
The pair of them had a wiggle. So right now, these guys are really struggling with their tyres. If they've chosen soft tyres, they are mad. Because right now, they will be burning up.
I can tell you a fact. I can tell you for a fact, Bryn is on the hard tyre. He is trying to learn this hard tyre this season as JM Grill gets it hooked on the curb and horribly wrong. And Lucas Roth has made another mistake, and that's dropped him behind the pair of them.
Oh, Keegs, man, what are you doing? You had this in the bag, and now Little Leach has gone right around the outside of JM Grill and then picked off Lucas Roth as well. That was a beautiful move from Little Leach.
JM Grill!
JM Grill's missed his brakes.
A tap up the rear of Little Leach, around he goes at the chicane. He manages to rejoin. Hopefully Bryn gets through fine. I think he has, as they're both on their way down the straight. Where is Bryn in the background? Did they make contact? No, because Bryn on his way, so is JM Grill. So JM Grill managed to get out of the way of Bryn. Well then, all these soft tyres just starting to go off on these cars. Dean now pits.
That was too late from Dean. He's messed up there. He's going to be so far behind this pack, and they've all just caught him up in one lap. So, literally, he leads this race now, but everyone's making mistakes. If they put soft tyres on, they're going to be struggling. If they are on the hards, then I'm not sure what people are doing. Are they just pushing the car too hard? Are the pressures blowing up?
It's going to be interesting, but Lucas Roth now had his race win in his hands. He's now got to fight Lidleach to get it past. And I think Lidleach had a wiggle on exit there. There's Holty. Bryn's not far in the background, and Dean dropping down the order is behind Smithy. Stealth Sloth's just coming through. Reverse to Lidleach! He's made a mistake, and that has put Lucas Roth in the lead, and Holty into P2, and Bryn's back on the podium.
It's a Teletubby 1-2 right now. Mazda and Fury will be very happy about that. And Little Leach, your pro constructors two-time champ, has dropped down into 5th place position. Not good. Not good at all.
What absolute scenes. Dean gets out the pits ahead of Stealth Sloth, but he's nowhere near Smithy for an extra place in 3 laps. Holty behind his teammate Lucas Roth. Bryn's lost out to JM Grill. Where is Bryn? He's slow coming down the hill, Dan. Very slow.
I'm trying to get on. He's very, very slow. I'm trying to see what damage. He looks like he's got a bit of damage to the front of that car. Whatever these guys are doing, they're...
Oh, he's round again!
Bryn's gone round again. That's given Ukbar another position. Ukbar moving up. So, good start from Ukbar. That caused a massive incident and caused him to go to the back of the pack. Now he's worked his way back up into 5th place.
Smithy's got past Bryn now, and Stealth Sloth has got past Dean Wysocki, so Dean's got work to do if he's to get 8th place back. His race has gone from bad to worse here. And Bryn, what did he do there? What tyres are these guys on? I'm sure Bryn was on the hard tyre if he changed to the softs. I wonder, Dan, if the soft tyre is just running out of grip at the end of this race.
I don't actually know. And again, it depends what people have been doing with their pressures. If they've tweaked and changed it for quality and practice, have they changed since the change in between the sessions? Remember, these guys do a qualifier. Oh, Lucas Roth!
Oh, he needs to hold on to it and just manages to do so. His teammate Holty has got race wins under his belt. He's got 4 race wins under his belt. This man, JM Grill, yet to win a race here at Simplay Motorsport. But JM Grill's only been here for 2 races at the moment. Keegs has had a 63 race streak where he's not won a race, and he's now got his Teletubby teammate on the back. Lala and Poe are really going at it. and the Blue Hoover may need to have a team brief at the end of this one and do not fight each other. Whew.
Oh, what do you do? This is like a Sergio and Max situation. They're both leading the race. Either one can win it. Does Lucas Roth get out of the way and give the race win to Holty, or do they just battle it out? That's the thing. Keegs will want his first race win. It is just 2 laps away from him. Holty wants every single point he could possibly have in this championship, because he felt after Road America he was a proper good chance of winning this championship. But he's got his teammate in the way. What do? Do they bring the Teletubby 1-2 home, or do they battle it out? I would like to see them bring it home 1-2, but at the same time, I would love to see a fight. JM Grill and Little Leach just seem to be off the pace at the minute. It's just these two battling it out for the win.
Six races in the F1 is all it took for Red Bull to ruin Perez's season. It's 6 races all it takes for the blue Teletubby Hoover to decide what's going to happen between these two guys, because I tell you what, I would not want to be in the Teletubby household at the minute, because this is nail-biting stuff. What are Fury and Mazda thinking about this decision? What do they want in the race order to be? Lucas Roth never won a race, and Holty's going to attack him into Tamburello, and here he comes, and has he touched his teammate? No, they both get away with it. But it's ever so close here. It's nail-biting stuff. And I tell you what, do not take each other out, because JM Grill and Little Leach are only 4 and 5 seconds behind. And Holty then, well, what is the decision between these boys, I wonder?
This is tight. This is tight stuff. Notice Lucas Roth is carrying a lot more fuel than Holty. Holty kind of very, very low on the fuel. 7.9 is quite a long circuit here, but I think he should be all right. But Gary should know himself how much fuel you need in a car, because he learned that last night.
Yeah, he did indeed, as Gary's bro, an ex-teammate Little Leach, on the back of JM Grill for that final podium spot.
Everyone else on relatively similar fuels, but Holty, who's on very, very low fuel. So I don't know what...
Oh, Keegs! He's made the curb toward, and Holty leads this race. What has happened to Keegs there? Lucas Roth bouncing off the curb, and that has put him up another place. I think Bryn's had another moment, because Dean's on the back of him as his stealth sloth. There they are, but Lucas Roth has possibly just lost. It looks like he's just lost this race.
Possibly so. It all depends on the fuel mileage for Holty, because I still think that 6.5... he'll be all right. He'll be all right. He should be fine. It's normally about 3 litres, as Holty, he's really just got to keep it cool, calm and collected for one more lap, unless Lucas Roth can put some pressure on him. But at this stage, it looks like Holty is on his way to win around 5 at the minute. But anything can still happen. All these guys seem to be struggling. Look at Little Leach.
He's got an almighty run out of Ravazza at the final corners, and here he comes in the slipstream of JM Grill. But JM Grill, with that Mercedes run, pulling him away from the Audi. Little Leach, how brave is he on the brakes into turn 1? Is he going to have a look? He's going to sooty send one up the inside, and Little Leach, job done. Thank you, Mama, for the carrots. P3.
Yeah, Little Leach now back up to 3. Can he hold it to the end? That is the question. Looks like Teletubbies are possibly going to get there 1-2, and as Bryn is still under pressure from Dean Wasaki. But that Mercedes, can he use its grunt to cash onto the back of the Audi? I don't think it will, as we had some amazing racing here in the F1s on Simplay Motorsport a couple of weeks back here at Imola. And look, Dean is catching, he's coming. It's like he's got the DRS open, but he's not quite close enough to send it down the inside, as Bryn does go a little bit deep. Maybe wounded that car. I think
Bryn's struggling, but Dean has a wobble on the exit of the turn, second part of Tamburello, and that then puts to bed Dean's attack on Bryn at this moment in time. He does have a chance of still coming back at him. Holty 1.7 ahead of Lucas Roth from Little Leach, from JM Grill, from this man Ukbar. Teletubbies 1-2. It might not be the order that Keegs would have wanted, but this man Holty looks like he's going to be back to winning ways with his 5th win here at Simplay Motorsport. He's got to, though, get the Ravazza corners spot on.
Yeah, he has, and what a show that these two have put on. We did say that Keegs would be up there. I said he was going to take the race win. He just slipped out of his fingers once again. What does Lucas Roth need to do to get his first win here at Simplay Motorsport? But Holty exits the final corner to take another race win.
He does indeed. So Holty coming to the line, and it's a great race for him. He's on the podium with the race win. What a drive from Holty. It's a Teletubby 1-2 as a flash of the lights from La and Poe. Lucas Roth for P2. Little Leach is... No, he's not! What happened to Little Leach?
He lost it. He lost it in the penultimate corner, and JM Grill got him towards the end, which is going to give Little Leach P4 and Ugbar P5. Smithy is going to come home for a solid at P6. Good points for Pick and Mix Racing, but Little Leach made that mistake again.
He has. Dean has dropped behind Stealth Sloth, so Dean's had another moment this lap. It looks like Bryn, under pressure from Stealth Sloth, he's ran a little deep at the first reverser. They've both ran deep at reverser, and Bryn round Stealth Sloth. Looks like he's going to gain P8. Can Bryn get on ahead of Dean? No! Can Dean get it though? Smithy to the line, P6 for him. Dean's round the reverser second part of it, so Stealth Sloth's going to take home a 7th place. Dean Wasocki, fortunate to get an 8th, you'd have to say in the end, and Bryn dropping to 9th, unfortunate for him. And we have to wait a bit of a time at the moment because Welshie has just not been at the races in this one.
No, I think Welshie's been really struggling here at Imola. Whatever damage he sustained earlier on has really hurt him from the start to the end. And Welshie, still, we've got to praise this guy because he's managed to go all the way to the end, even though he's this far behind. Even myself, it's heartbreaking when you are that far behind. Even I lapped down to Gary last night. It was very easy for me to go, you know what, I'm done, I'm not interested. But you've got to make the end. You've got to finish and score points, and Welshie does, and it's going to help MC Motorsport at the end of the day.
It is indeed. Fastest lap of the race, a 47.1, a 46.4 for Little Leach. And I think that is going to be the fastest lap of the race. And Little Leach will take the fastest lap of the race and the extra point. His closest rival down in 9th. So that will hurt Bryn in the championship running. But we'll be right back in just a couple of moments with race 2. Get yourself a couple of refreshments and be right back because this is a fascinating second race. Little Leach on the softs go off quick.
Why are they on the softs?
Softs all the way for Smithy as well, he says. Right, I need a wee. 2 secs. To get the top 3 in.
I don't know if JM Grill will join us, will he?
Yeah, that's fine if you don't. Top 2 at least.
Keys, man! You fucking nearly had it, you fucking penis.
It's alright. Thank fuck it was him behind me and nobody else like it.
Well done, boys. Well done on your 1-2.
Fucking hell.
Top
Fucking stupid
7?
wee mistakes, that's all. Oh, fuck's sake. That start was fucking awful as well.
Yeah, I don't...
See, when the lights started coming on, my wheel, for some reason, decided to start taking screenshots and shit. So I had to fucking spam circle to get back on the game. Next minute, you know, the fucking 3 red are on, and it's about to go green, and I'm like, fucking shit. I was like, Jesus.
Well done, Ozzy. What tyres are you boys running? Softs or hards?
I was on hards. I was on hards.
Little Leach was on softs.
The race I was hards. The fucking quali I was softs.
That was some lap keys. I wasn't expecting that.
I wasn't expecting it myself.
Did you scare yourself?
No, the thing is, I was going for, in practice, because I've not done much practice, I was going to go, right, I'll go on hards, you know, because they're the tyres that I'm going to use in the race. And then I'll just go the whole way. Next minute, no, I'm going to the quali trying to change the tyres to soft, but I'm already on soft, and I'm like, shit. So I was like, alright, let me go out and do my best on the 1 lap that I'm going to do. And then I just done that somehow, and then I went for the rest on quali on hards. just to get used to the hards and fucking don't really go well.
Fuck's sake,
Matt.
Keegs. Yes.
There was top 7 can't qualify because 13 started, didn't it?
Yeah.
So that's Holty,
Holty, Keegs, James Grill, Little Leach.
Little Leach, Okabar, Smithy, and Stelstoff.
Did
Yeah.
Craig not have to pit? I thought he had to pit.
Who?
Like when he come through all of us, I thought he had to pit, but maybe not. I don't know if he pitted early or not, but because when he was up with us again, I thought he had to pit.
Who?
Craig.
No, Craig did. No, Shamron who pitted early.
Yeah.
When did Craig pit that?
Lap 8.
Everyone pitted. Everyone pitted in the pit window, but
Does Phil have to qualify? Can Phil qualify?
yes.
Even though he got disqualified, yeah?
I might have
Yeah,
twatted them off, I can't lie.
Yeah.
Leon Fernie can't, though, can he?
No.
What did he get disqualified for?
Speeding in the
Speeding
pit lane.
in the pit lane.
Alright, because I twatted them off at the first corner. I didn't mean it like, but what? I didn't twat.
Walk
I gave him a
on.
little nudge tap, like just a wee nudge. But no one fell, he just kept his foot fucking flat and ended up sending himself around, didn't he?
Did you wait to let him through?
No, because I had about 3 cars coming behind us, so I couldn't really stop.
We thought you did. We thought you had a hesitation of just sit there and wait for him to go.
I seen like 3 cars coming, I was like, shit, man, I'm not fucking...
Keegs, you ever going to win a race?
What?
Are you ever going to win a race?
No, because I can't be fucked.
Alexa,
It's
bedside
effort
light
winning
on.
them, you know?
Alexa, bedside light
Winningham's
white.
overrated if you ask me.
You're just doing it for the points for Teletubby Racing, aren't you?
Exactly.
Well, you're a bit confused.
You're just helping Holty win the championship, aren't you?
Right, all my days, that is ridiculous.
What?
Way off on that.
No, you're
I
not.
think
don't
that's
you
just
are.
put me in for qualifying banners, mate, next week with that disqualification to pits, but I'm a bit confused if it's... But there we go.
Who said that?
Talking about.
I don't know, he said... he sent me a video, and mate, he makes no attempt to slow down in the pit lane.
He just flies in.
Mate, he's full chat. He barely breaks for it.
Do you think he's
So
forgot
literally-
where the fuck he's going or something and just flew into the pit? Well, what the fuck?
He's doing
just
90 odd
noticed
mile an hour through into the pit lane.
What's he said, you on Messenger?
Yeah, he's just sent me a video. I'll send you a video.
Yeah, I want to see it.
Fucking mate, he's just come flying in.
Fucking nutcase.
Oh.
Fucking Dean, first corner, Belland.
No, fuck me. Typical, innit? I didn't even make the fucking
Did you get any
corner,
damage?
No, I didn't get any on the rear.
How the fuck did you get
I
no
got a bit on
damage?
the
You were in the
front,
roof.
yeah, I know. I got a bit on the front, that was it.
You wait.
Why is he just fluent?
Like, he just flies in, doesn't he? Like, what is all that about?
The first corner, I didn't even know what was going on. I was just on top of somebody at one point, and that's all I remember.
Mate, when you get a chance, look at the stream back. It's fucking... You're
didn't
literally
even
on
make
top
the
of a
corner.
car.
Yeah, I
You're
didn't even make
literally-
the corner, and Dina twat this other day. I was like, fuck's sake, man.
I don't think JM Grill will join us. He's French, so he probably doesn't know English.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
I felt like I was a bit higher than usual. Like, I just seen cars around me, and I felt like I was, you know, on another level compared to them. I'm not gonna piss, eh?
I'm going to try and get it slowed in the second race. Fucking too right. Welcome back then, ladies and gentlemen, to Simplay Motorsport, as we are here for qualifying 2, and we are a couple of drivers short at the moment. Not everybody is back in the session, I do believe, but hopefully they will all get in a little later on. The championship standings, though, look like this. Little Eat still leads the way from Bryn. 24 points is now the gap. Lucas Roth is into third place with Ukbar fourth. Holty now in 5th and only 2 points behind Ukbar. JM Grill down to 6th place with Stelsloff and Walshy down to 7th and 8th. Dean Wasocki drops to 9th with DJ Phil Green in 10th. Shenron 11th. Smithy down in 12th. And that Bozzy boy Leon Fernie 13th and 14th. The Constructors' Championship. Pick and Mix Motorsport 17 points clear of the Super Crash Bros, who are 2 points ahead of Teletubby Motorsport. MC Motorsport dropped now to 4th with Terminal Velocity Racing in P5. My Mate Racing P6 and Getting Quicker My Mate in 7th place. We have got Holty and Keegs in here. We are just awaiting for Keegs, so we will just hold off on Holty at the moment as the race winner while we wait for Keegs a moment. But Dan, that race one had a bit of everything. We haven't got JM Grilling, because obviously French, we don't think he speaks very good English. But race one, Dan, had a bit of everything.
He's currently going out on track, and if JM Grill is listening, he should not be going out on track, and he should be in the pits, because the rules state you're not allowed to qualify if you are in the top 7, which was Lucas Roth, Holty, JM Grill, Little Leach, Ukbar, Stelsloff, and Smithy, I believe. So
Yes.
So, JM Grill, if you are watching the stream and if you are listening, get back into the pits, because you are not meant to be on track. And I'm pretty sure one of us will probably be messaging him.
I'm on it now, so do you want to just take over the interviews with Keegs and Holty while I am on the message?
Yep, I could possibly do that. Is Keegs back now? Keegs, are you there?
Yeah.
You're nearest line and clear. Aidan Moffat himself. Keegs, so many race appearances here at Simplay Motorsport, and once again, a race win just seems to slip out of your grasp. But nonetheless, a second place between yourself and Holty. Teletubby Racing getting good points. How does that feel?
Yeah, it's good, but it's annoying at the same time that I couldn't win it. Just a couple of wee mistakes from me. Happily, Holty was the one behind me, so 1-2, well, good for the team.
Yeah, very good for the team. What was it? Do you just struggling with grip, or was it the tyre? What tyre were you running? Were you on the softs or the hards?
I was on the hards. I think I was just sort of come to the end of the race. I just kept on making more and more mistakes. I don't know if I was just pressure or, I just slowly started making the wee stupid mistakes, which cost me that, but, it happens.
It happens, and obviously the start of the race, you got caught up in all sorts of incidences, and we actually saw your car go flying across other cars as well. So, did you sustain much damage from that?
No, surprisingly not. I didn't really know where I was at the time. I think I was on top of somebody, but yeah, that's about it.
Well, by the looks of things, you will be starting last in this race, and so far you've had a good night in race 1. What can you do for race 2?
Hopefully just come through the grid, pick them off one by one, and get as far as we can.
Anything can happen here tonight, can it, after the result of race 1?
Exactly.
Well, good luck for the next race, and we'll hope to speak to you later on, and congratulations on the 1-2.
Thank you.
And we move on to your race winner, Holty. Wow, that race was up and down, wasn't it? You didn't know if you were coming or going, or if a raceman was on the cards, but nonetheless, you come out on top, and 1-2 for Teletubby. Not a bad way to start the night, was it?
No, it's brilliant for Teletubby Motorsport. Yeah, I didn't really know what happened at the start. Just trying to stay out of trouble. Got a bit of damage. Yeah, and then it was just trying to work out when to hit at the right time. Just trying to undercut people. But then second to the last lap, catching up to Keys, it was like, what do I do? Do I put pressure on him? Do I back off? But then when I was backing off, third and fourth was catching us. So, and it was just, I just didn't want to make Keys make a mistake. And then when I see him go a little bit wide, I just went for it then.
Fair enough. With the damage earlier on in the start of the race, how much was that hurting you? And can you remember how much damage you sustained?
It was about 16% on the front.
Was it managing to hurt you a lot?
Yeah, definitely down the straight.
Well, nonetheless, whatever happened in that race, it managed to all just pan out into your favour. Just staying out of trouble, wasn't it? As people were making mistakes, you just picked them off one by one.
Yeah, that's all. I don't know where I'm starting.
You're currently going to be like
P8.
mid-pack, yeah, P8. So, other quick question, hard or soft tyres were you running?
I was running softs in that.
Were they hanging in there, or were they struggling for grip?
I'd say the last 3 laps we were struggling.
And you're probably going to go for the softs again?
Yeah, I'm trying hard.
Well, nonetheless, mate, congratulations on the race win, and good luck for the race too. And Matt, Teletubby Racing maximising their points as possible, just missing out on the fastest lap with Little Each nicking that one, but Holty and Key seem relatively happy. But a big shock that Holty was on the softs.
A very big shock that so many drivers. We're hearing Little Each, we're hearing Smithy, Holty as well on the soft tyre, which really is surprising to see so many drivers on the soft tyre. The track temperature, I believe in testing, Dan, has been something like 40 odd degrees. So it is a massive shock. This man currently third. How this man isn't on pole position yet, I do not know, because he had real good pace in practice and in Q1. And I want that pole position. Only 4 drivers can qualify. Shenron hasn't returned for this second race. But Dan, the Mercedes-Benz AMG is getting closer to having 50 race wins in the Pro-Am. It's now on 48. So 47 pole positions and 48 race wins. Clearly the dominant car over the seasons in Pro-Am, where we've seen Fury and Monkey Boy win championships, as well as Rabbit Joe. Clearly the Mercedes-Benz the dominant car, but the Audis are trying to take it to them. And what can Welshie do in terms of his pole position? He crosses the line, improves, but still some 3/10 down on this man, DJ Phil.
Setting the early pace here at Imola for race 2. But Bryn is now coming into the final corner. We should expect this Audi to find a little bit more pace. 4.2 off the pace right now. Towards the line he comes. Has he found that a little bit more speed? Towards the line, Bryn.
Yeah.
He's only half a second off. So DJ Phil's banker has really paid off here.
Probably learned how to get the speed from going into the pit lane from the video he sent me in the mid-session break as he got disqualified in race 1. The man who's well off the pace is Dean Wysocki, 2 seconds down. He is coming to the line though. Can he find that 2 seconds and improve on his current lap time? He'll be looking for P1 and an extra point after a dismal race 1. And it is pole position and putting the gap between him and Bryn back to a second now, a 46.8. More time in this. I believe Welshie's the next man to set a lap, who's coming into Ravazza now. 2 minute 18 left. Still a lot of time for these cars. And Dean once again in qualifying, as is Welshie, running a lot of fuel.
Yeah, running a lot of fuel. I know that Welshie, obviously the Lamborghini tends to hold better traction with more fuel on board. So possibly for Welshie, he feels a bit more comfortable with the fuel on board. I know when I've done lap times in a Lamborghini, when I've run it down to very low fuel, the rear end is very unhappy. So trying to control that Lamborghini with low fuel is a challenge itself. So possibly Welshie putting the extra weight in, putting a bit of balance towards the rear of the car, giving him that extra grip towards the rear. Possibly slower, but overall he's more consistent.
He is indeed. Schoolboy Era said Welshie, low fuel rear, light as hell, like jelly, he said. So that's probably what happened in race 1 for him. And then a few other comments in there. Nicky said in the end of the race 1, I had to see this one. Doesn't Matt sound like that guy from Zurich? Does a bit, doesn't he?
Zurich?
Yeah, does a bit, doesn't he?
Some league called Racing Unleashed, I believe. I've never heard of him or watched him or interested in anything on it.
Hello, Bryn. Now then, Dean Wysocki, what have you got?
Dean could possibly get one more lap as he exits the final corner. If he has a decent run, he's possibly got, well, he's easily got enough fuel to go out and do another lap. It's still surprising me that some of these guys are running such high fuel, as I know from the Pro Boys, we tend to do I say that, look at that.
Anything you can do, Dean can do better. He is absolutely the back and forth between Dean and Bryn at the minute. Let's not forget, these two were teammates last year and are now taking the fight to each other in this race and look like they're going to line up 1-2 on the grid. And I tell you what, you mentioned Racing Unleashed. Did you see the prize money for some of the wins, for some of the drivers that they win? I think we need to have a word with our sponsor, Dan.
Good luck. I know our sponsor very, 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 very well. I mean, the trophies are... Let me just say, trophies are immaculate, beautiful, sitting lovely above my bed. When I stream, you can see it in the background next to my model Porsche 911 where I took my 2 championships. But not promoting that at all. But lovely Audio Sport, our great sponsor here. Also,
fantastic.
C Leach's designs and also
Design Manchester as well.
There we go. Design Manchester.
All 3 sponsors, fantastic sponsors on Audio Sport as well, with the lovely trophies and the presentations that we get. And talk about Bryn trying to get pole position back. He threw it into Ravazza there. There's only one man left to do a lap. At the minute, it looks like Dean is on for a P1 here.
As we go through Toast, 2 tenths up, but there's not enough to dethrone either Bryn or Dean. And massive thank you to our sponsors. And guys, if you do like what you see here, then please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Hit the bell to be notified so you don't miss any of the amazing action that happens here at Simply Motorsport. British touring cars on a Tuesday night, hitting it double trouble with the GT3s hitting on a Wednesday and a Thursday night. Pro-Am first, and make sure you tune in tomorrow night as the Pro Boys will then take their attempts of trying to stay within track limits here at Imola with myself and Big Boy Brazier, aka Jamie, in the chat, bringing you the fantastic action. And we have got 2 rounds left for the F1 Championship. Matimovic and Green Pies are now banned from F1 because the action was so good at Mexico. We want to see Gary and Sutty battle it out once again at Interlagos, Brazil. And then Abu Dhabi is the final round of the season. So get behind them. Plenty of spaces available in F1 if you would like to have a go yourselves. And also get involved in the Discord chat. Get involved in the Facebook. Always good to hear you from the chat. And which will possibly give us as much support as you possibly can. As DJ Phil, lovely enough to finish the lap just as I finished talking.
He is as well. You couldn't have timed that any better than if you tried. But that is the end of qualifying, and that is pole position for Dean Wysocki alongside his former teammate Bryn in second, with DJ Phil third and Welshie fourth. Stel Sloth, the first of the non-qualifiers, in fifth. Little Each sixth. Smithy seventh. Holte eighth. Leon Fernie serving his qualifying ban down in P9 with JM Grill 10th. Oakbar 11th. Lucas Roth bringing up the rear then. Dan, who's your tip for this race win?
I don't actually know after race 1. It was bad enough race 1 when we had the different times, but race 2, after the chaos of that, I honestly don't know. If I'm going to have to pick anybody, I said Lucas Roth and he got second, so I want Lucas Roth to win. Do you know what? I'm going to say JM Grill for the race win.
Do you know what? I'm going to say Bryn.
Well, he needs to not do a centre and get a little bit excited. Remember a couple of years ago, I think it was 1991 Monaco Grand Prix? I don't know if Jamie or PN might be able to... 1991, I'm guessing, or it might be 1990 when Senna was 50 seconds ahead in the lead, had the race under control, trying to go fastest lap after fastest lap. Even his engineer came onto the radio to say slow down, and he put it in the wall.
Yeah, Monaco.
It was Monaco, yeah. Which
Monaco.
is also this weekend.
It is this weekend.
What else is this weekend?
Thruxton British Touring Cars, Donington British GT, 24 hours of the Nordschleife, Indy 500, you name it, there seems to be motorsport on wherever you look this weekend. So a fantastic weekend of motorsport. The most important race this weekend, the Simply Motorsport race of Brazil at Interlagos. That is the most important race of the weekend. But right now...
Everyone running's equal cars and Matt's in a Williams. I like that idea. No, better yet, Matt's in a F2.
Yeah, that's fine. We're syncing up. We're getting ready to go here. The lights are about to come on. And for the final time tonight, the revs rise. And we're green and go. And I don't think Bryn gets away well. He looks a bit bogged down. Welsh, you're looking to cut in between. Dean Wysocki has already left at the start. They're a bit delayed in the background. Oakbar, you see, just patiently waiting. Welsh attacking Leon Fernie and JM Grill off. And already disaster at turn 1 for Leon Fernie and JM Grill. And I think Stav Sloss had a moment in and off there. But Lucas Roth and Holte started to pick up places. Smithy dropping down the order, and Bryn managed to stay in front of Welshie, and him and Dean have already checked out up front.
Yeah, Welshie's got an absolute train of cars behind him. Dean and Bryn are long gone into the distance, but Welshie, look at the train of cars right behind him, and the man who's behind him first is Little Each in that Audi, and he's pressurising him as hard as he possibly can.
He is pressurising him indeed. JM Grill, your man for the win, is way down at the back of the pack. 12 seconds off the lead already as Little Each attack it. Oh, that'll be why. That'll do it. Dean's made a mistake, and that has invited Bryn through. And once again in this race at Imola, Bryn leads. And Dean costing him another error from Dean has costed him this race lead at the moment. And Bryn can sail off into the sunset now. Little Leach has got past Welshie, and Lucas Roth is now past Smithy. And the guys from the back who couldn't qualify are slowly making their way to the front. But Bryn, once again here at Imola, is in the lead of this race, and Dean has got to hunt him down.
He does have to hunt him down, but the good thing about JM Grill, he has sustained enough damage for him allowed to pit on lap 1. We can tell that car is undrivable with no rear wing, so he can get away with it. The pros cannot. Whether if they have damage or not, they're good enough that they should be able to carry it to that end of that lap. And Fury and myself at Long Beach did manage to prove it when we had no rear wing.
Indeed so. Dean looks like he's coming back on Bryn and bringing Little Leach and Welshie with him then. But you feel that for Bryn, that Mercedes grunt of Dean Wysocki could just put him under some pressure as everybody coming through the start line. Dean just slowly bringing that gap down. And is he going to have a look into turn 1? Lucas Roth is having a look on DJ Phil, and he's got the job done. No, he hasn't just yet. It's DJ Phil just makes a bit of contact. Phil wide and round, and whoa, where's Smithy going?
As DJ Phil does the right thing there, he just reverses.
Oh, what's happened to Alti? He's down in P11. Little Leach, round. Just as you came off him, Little Leach has had a huge moment.
He's off our track and it's back to the leaders with Dean and Bryn still leading this one. Welshie's hanging in there, but his guy's son hunting him down. Here we go, Welshie versus Keegs. Father-son duo here.
The battle we wanted to see. We saw Kelly and Dan last season. We've now got the Welshers north of the border. Can they get this one done? What is going to happen in this race? 30 people still watching. Guys and girls, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. If you are new, hit that... Hit that bell to be notified as Little Leach on the back of Stealth Sloth here. And as they come up towards the chicane, he's got a lot of ground to make up. Bryn still only be within a second of Dean. Dean still trying to hunt him down and use that Mercedes run. This man is trying to attack Dean while also having one eye in his rear view mirror.
Yeah, for his son as well. Lucas Roth versus Welshie right now. Keegs and Chris right now. Both of these two are going to be going at it. And you can tell by the end of this, if Keegs does get past his dad, I'm pretty sure that PS4 is going to be taken out of his room and smashed to pieces.
Lucas Roth has left the session as Welshie turns the Wi-Fi off. There then, Ukbar, Little Leach, Stealth Sloth. So Little Leach has got past Ukbar, and Dean has got past Stealth Sloth, and Dean once again closing on Bryn on the straights, but he's just running out of room. And look at Lucas Roth pouncing on the back of his dad. As here is Little Leach with Ukbar and Smithy now in front of him. Little Leach has to reorganise what he's done. He made the mistake. He's got to get back. JM Grill. He's not a lap down at least. He's got his rear wing, but not a lap down. That's good for him.
Yeah, definitely so. But a lot with what happened in race 1, there's anything can happen. And as you saw, Holty was up and down the grid constantly, and he came back and took a race win. So anything can still happen. JM Grill, he just needs to put the lap times in and keep his nose clean. With all the guards going off, at the minute he's only pretty much a sector away from the back of Leon Fernie, so he can still get back into this. As Keegs is going to go down the inside of his father, they're going to be going side by side. Oh, this is going to be cautious going into the house. Oh my God!
Someone's going to be grounded if he makes contact with his dad, and sensibly to save himself from being grounded, backs out. But Welshie makes the mistake, and Keegs once again just has to lift so that Welshie can rejoin. Keegs all over the back of his dad, and this is great pressure and great driving from these two. And Lucas Roth looking to just make the mistake, and Welshie will know how Keegs drives from watching him karting all these years. And Keegs putting the pressure on. Little Leach is also applying the pressure to Ukbar, and Dean Wysocki within that second still of Bryn. Oh, from Bryn's made a mistake, and Dean leads. I've just saw in the distance. He's back on in second place. Lucas Roth right on the back of Welshie now. That Mercedes grunt will surely pull him down the straight with that slipstream of Welshie. Ukbar as well has made a mistake.
Yeah, that's literally true. I'm more worried about the Welsh fight right now, as we got the Mercedes fight is now coming on the Lamborghini. Look at the Mercedes, drags itself, it's dragging, and Welshie will have to defend from his son.
They touch, they tap. Welshie's pointing in the right direction still. That's the most important thing. Has a slide, and Keegs has to get out of it. Keegs flash, give him a flash. Oh my days. You do not want to be in that household right now. You have to feel sorry for Mrs. Welsh.
To be honest, if I was in that house right now, I wouldn't understand what the hell's going on, what they're saying. They'd be there with such a strong Scottish accent, I wouldn't understand what they're saying to one another.
Little Leach gaining on the back of his teammate in the background. Smithy, 4 P5 and P6. Ukbar, Selsoft, DJ Phil in the background with Holty and Leon Fernie. Well, I was going to say with DJ Phil. DJ Phil's just span round and Holty gains an extra place. Dean out front. He's made a mistake!
And that's going to allow the Welsh duo to get past. Lucas Roth, is he going to just about clear him? Yes, he does. As they just come through the double king to right-hander. And Welshie now really under pressure here from Keegs. Oh my God.
He's really under pressure from Keegs, but he's also got Dean Wasocki coming at Keegs as well. And is Dean going to think about making a move? He's clearly tucked in behind Keegs at the moment. And look, the three of them. Bryn's now back in the lead of this race. And Welshie hanging on for dear life. Little Leach is back behind Ukbar. So has Little Leach made another mistake? And he's taking that famous line again. Dean just patiently watching these two up front. Keegs on the brakes before Welshie. Welshie's gone a little bit too deep. So does Keegs. And Welshie loses out to the pair of Dean and Keegs then. And Dean just couldn't get his nose up the inside of Lucas Roth. So it's Bryn, Lucas Roth, Dean. Welshie rejoins P4.
Yeah, all that pressure. Welshie has finally cracked and Keegs has got through without making any contact. Ukbar bails straight to the pits instantly. So he is trying to get his pit stop down and out the way. We've got Emo guy in the chat saying, I can translate the arguments if you want, Dan lol. As a fellow Scotsman himself, he could probably tell us what they're saying. Or Smoky Devil, either one.
Yeah. That would be fantastic to hear. Dean then trying to hunt down Keegs for the P2 spot at the moment. Bryn can just go steady now. He's not got to put that pressure on himself to get them quick lap times in. Lucas Roth has been fantastic at this moment in this race.
He has been very good in a minute, but even him said in the chat, he's just making too many mistakes.
Who stopped? Has DJ Phil stopped? He's waiting for Ukbar to leave the pits. Oh, now Leon Fernie's trying to pit and has to avoid DJ Phil. That is a little naughty from Phil to block the pit entry.
We will have to look into that. That's a little bit sketchy, and he's not. What is he doing? He's not. I'm not understand. Leon Fernie has got a time penalty as well, so JM Grill will make 2 faces there. Dean has caught onto the back of Lucas Roth there, so Lucas Roth maybe made a mistake a little bit. He did gain a little bit of time.
DJ Phil, sorry, is now going down the pit straight. He's going down the... I don't understand that.
I think he wanted to pit, but then realised that Ukbar was in the pits.
Ukbar had left his pit box, so DJ Phil could have pitted. Interesting one for the stewards maybe to take a look at there. None of the top 3 are pitting, and Welshie currently still P4 with Smithy nowhere in the background. What has happened to Little Leach again? He's behind Stealth Sloth now.
Those soft tyres aren't working. The soft tyres aren't working. Remember, if we're here in the afternoon, it gets hotter. So we're 3 o'clock in the afternoon here in Imola, and the track just gets warmer and warmer. It's probably track tempers around 45 to 47 degrees. The softs will be burning up. They will not like these temperatures.
Holty's in the pits then from further down the order, looking to make his stop and done. As Leon Fernie just comes out the pits. He's now a lap down, but of course a lot of drivers are yet to pit. And I'm still flabbergasted by DJ Phil's strategy as Keegs here starting to put the pressure onto Bryn.
This feels like deja vu. Bryn leading the race here, but he just needs to keep it calm and cool. We did say earlier on, he doesn't need to do a centre. He doesn't need to go out and bang in the lap times constantly. He just needs to just take his time. He doesn't need to push. He knows Keegs is quicker, but once he catches onto the back of him, he needs to find a way through. A famous Murrayism is one thing to catch, is another to overtake.
You sound like your dad now.
Well, you know, I wish I sounded more like a very famous commentator who was commentating on a channel called Racing Unleashed. But, you know, I just had to deal with Matthew Duffy instead.
Stop it. As Brendan leads this race from Lucas Roth, from Dean, from Welshie. That is DJ Phil well off before Ravatsa. Strange place to go off there.
Fun fact for you, Alan Prost dropped it there.
Oh, well, I didn't know that. There we go then.
A funny fact for you, I can't remember, again, another year, I know these stupid facts, but I vaguely remember that Alan Prost, 1 year for a season, in the wet at Imola as Bryn's into the pits. It was horrendous wet weather, and Alain Prost dropped it on the way to the grid, and he actually put it in the wall and couldn't race.
Good stop from Bryn. Oh, well, there we go then. Good stop from Bryn. DJ Phil now comes in as well, but Lucas Roth has been released and is on his way to being in the lead of this one. Dean just dropping back ever so slightly, but they are both dropping Welshie at the same time.
I just thought of something, Matt. Do you think DJ Phil got a little bit too hot and heavied into the pit lane and decided that he didn't want to go in too fast? Decided to
reverse out was near enough where he was. Bryn has come out just behind. I say just behind. He's a bit behind Little Each, 18 seconds. But I said, good stop for Bryn, and 33 seconds is not too bad a place where you need to be. As Little Eats look nicely up the inside on Stovsloff. Job done, P5, and he can head once again after his teammate here for P4. Smithy running in 4th place, having a good night tonight, is Smithy.
I think the thing is that Ferrari, I just read PN, they went to say Ferrari.
Yeah.
The thing is, the people who are on the pad can make the soft tyres work because the pad isn't aggressively killing the tyres. The likes of Smithy here, he's on softs. Welshie probably on softs as well. It's more, that doesn't damage the car as much. While the likes of Little H, I know for a fact will be on that wheel. And the more turning, the more aggressive you are on the tyres, especially the pedal as well, the car won't like it. No. Especially the tyres.
100%. Lucas Roth then decides that now is the time to pit. Now, for Dean, this is where Dean needs to learn strategy a bit. Does he follow him in? No, he doesn't. Does Welshie follow him in? Oh, no!
Lucas Roth.
He has sped in the pit lane. I think Welshie's in, because Welshie's not coming round. No, he is. It just looked like he was taking forever there. Smithy and Lidley each continue on their way. Oh, again. So Leon Fernie has scored no points at all this season.
No points whatsoever. He has now retired. So he will have another race ban. Qualifying ban for the next round, which will be Kota.
Not the worst place, I suppose, to start last at turn 1. We know what happens there. Gary 131.
Green pies.
Yep. So Lucas Roth then comes out ahead of Bryn in the pits, but has that time penalty to his name. So he's jumped Bryn in the pit stop, going that little bit longer. Well done, Lucas Roth. But now has that time penalty to his name, and at least a minimum of 10 seconds. It is 10 seconds, so he knows what he's got to do in this race. Bryn will notice as well that he has that 10-second penalty and will just have to stay within that time of Lucas Roth. And if that's the gap Lucas Roth to Bryn out the pits, Dean isn't going to be nowhere near them. He needs to pump in the lap times now, does Dean, to make sure that he can be a bit closer to these two when he does decide to pull it in.
Yeah, definitely. So, Dean, is he going to just push it too far again? The thing is, Lucas Roth is capable of making that 10-second gap.
Yeah.
He was lapping a lot quicker than the rest of them. 46 is what he was doing, the same as what Little Leach is doing now, who's right on the rear of his teammate. And I bet this is painful. Oh, as Little Leach once again testing track limits, and he's going around the outside.
And he's going to have to yield that. He's going to have to yield that to Smithy there. He doesn't. Oh. Overtaking his teammate off the track. Well then.
I don't know about that one. Possibly Smithy might have lifted to let him through. I'll leave it down to those two to sort out personally. If it was any other car, maybe we'd talk about it. But Welshie's into the pits.
Yeah, Welshie's in, as is Smithy as well, yeah. So that is the end of lap 8 for them two to come into the pits and make their stops. Little Each yet to pit, as is Dean and Stelf Sloffer with a top 3 now. So where is Lucas Roth and Bryn? Bryn, I think, is right on the back of Lucas Roth. He's not far behind, within a second, and they will both jump Welshie then, who is on his way out the pit lane now, and both jump Welshie by a mile.
Leon Fernie is the one who quit, so just so that Mike knows in the chat. So, yeah, Leon Fernie was the one who retired, and Bryn knows what he has to do here. Lucas Roth knows what he has to do. The thing is, both of these two are quite capable of doing the lap times they need to do.
Yeah.
Keith needs to be doing at least these six laps roughly to the end of the race. 7 laps, let's say. He's made a second already on Bryn, so he needs to make at least 9 seconds within 7 laps.
3 laps he needs to be going at a second and a half quicker than Bryn.
Yeah, he's currently up on his lap time, so he's doing what he needs to do. Dean at the minute, I think has missed a trick here. He needed to come in as soon as he possibly can, and Little Leach is now
I
hunting him
think
down.
Little Leach has got a pit as well. I think Dean's going to be jumped by Welshie in the pit stops. The gap to Dean to Welshie is 30 seconds. I think Dean is going to be jumped by Welshie, and Dean will have Holty and Smithy on the back of him, if not Ukbar. Dean needs to pit sooner rather than later, and it's just this bit we spoke about in the practice about his consistency. It's learning when to pit at the right time that's going to cost you race points as well. Dean here costing himself more points in this race.
I think strategy.
Wow! Wow, Little Leach!
I was just about to say, I think Little Leach's strategy was to come in this lap, and Slop is about to come in as well. It's just to cool those tyres, and yeah, that's not really worked out for Little Leach there whatsoever.
It hasn't, and once again, Dean has continued on his merry way. Now, he might jump Little Leach because of the fact Little Leach has got damage. Look at Lucas Roth to Bryn. That gap is now 2.7 seconds. So Lucas Roth pumping in the lap times here and doing exactly what he needs to do. Bryn will know he needs to be within that 10 seconds as they start lap 10 of 5. Lap 10 of 15, sorry.
Keegs is on it now. He's looking to try and make that gap to Bryn. And Bryn will honestly, you can see Lucas Roth disappearing, and he can't let him disappear too much. So he might have to turn the engine up a little bit more. But once again, Dean here is now behind DJ Phil. And DJ Phil, in his rights, doesn't have to get out the way. He does not allow to defend or attack, but he doesn't have to get out the way, essentially. So Dean now stuck behind the car as DJ Phil goes wide. So that's cleared Dean anyway. But it's now going to be 10 seconds off the back of Lucas Roth.
He's got to pit here. He has to pit here, does Dean. He's going to come out behind Welshie and Smithy, meaning he's lost out on that podium. Was that Lucas Roth a little sideways a bit there? No, he's kept it going. 2.5, though, the gap to Bryn. So he has had a bit of problem somewhere. Stelsoff and Ukbar having a nice little battle. And look at Little Leach down in P9 now. So has really lost out after making that mistake at the final corner. And you have to feel that Dean needs to pit this lap. I think Dean... No, I don't know if he made a mistake at the final corner or not. He's not pitting, Dan. Wow.
I don't see this strategy, because right now everyone's tyres have now cooled off, or the pressures have gone down again. I guess Dean seems to be happy at this minute, but he's doing 55, so 48.1, sorry. So his last lap was a 55 though, so he's very slow on his own.
A 48.1 isn't quick, though. You look at Bryn, he's 2/10 quicker a lap. Every 2/10, that's going to put Dean some 7-8 seconds behind Bryn. When he was 4 or 5 seconds behind Bryn before Bryn pitted. Dean is going to lose out massively in this race. He's going to be around the Welshie, in between Welshie and Welshie and Smithy at the moment. And with Holty right behind Smithy, that is not what Dean needs. A really quick driver on the back of him will put Dean under pressure. Dean here is just going way too long.
So I'll start with a little wiggle there. That's going to allow Ukbar to get a look at an opportunity down into turn 1. Dean, I think, possibly... The thing is here, though, Dean needs to think that Lucas Roth has got a penalty. So the more he's close to him, he knows the window that he needs to fight for. Ukbar getting closer and closer and closer. But he's not able to find a way past Stelsoff just yet.
But you look...
Holty's now onto the back of Smithy.
To go back to your argument, though, there, Dan, you look at the pace of Lucas Roth and Bryn, 47.2 or 47.3. Dean's 9/10 slower than Lucas Roth last time around. So he's got to fall. Smithy has lost out to Holty, Stelsoff and Ukbar now as he's had a moment coming through Villeneuve. Stelsoff looking to the outside of Ukbar, but Ukbar up the inside. Job done. Dean's a second a lap nearly slower than Bryn and Lucas Roth. Luke Bryn is doing a mega job, can I just say, of trying to keep them lap times within Lucas Roth. And Dean stays out yet again.
He does stay out. I think the problem is, though, Dean's going to...
What I'm going to credit Dean with here, looking at the last lap times, he's quicker than Welshie by 1.5 seconds.
So
now you see, that's a better lap time. That's a better lap time for Dean.
That is a better lap time, but he's not doing it consistently. Look, he's dropped it.
I don't know what to say. The gap now to Welshie's down to 31 seconds. And Dean Wysocki is really ruining his race. And what could have maybe been a P2. Bryn is some 5.5 seconds behind Lucas Roth at the start of lap 12. Can he just keep with Lucas Roth? You look at the last laps, wouldn't indicate that. But Bryn trying his best to stick with Lucas Roth in this race. Stealth Sloth trying to get a couple more points in this one as well. And with Little Each having a shocker here, if Bryn gets the podium, that pulls him a lot closer to Little Each. The gap's currently 24, as it would stand at the minute. Bryn a net second place so far.
Something's happened to Dean again. DJ Phil is right on the back of him.
No, has Dean lapped DJ Phil again? What lap is DJ Phil on?
No, Dean's dropped it again.
Yeah, I think you're right, actually.
Dean has dropped it. Dean dropped it. Obviously, DJ Phil went a lap down anyway from being in the pits, and he got lapped again by Dean. Dean only not long ago cleared him, and DJ Phil's back onto the back of him. Also, Lucas Roth is 11 seconds behind.
Look at the gap to Holty.
Right
Holty, 32 seconds to Dean. Dean could be P5.
He could be in this fight. He's in this scrap in a minute.
Dean could be P5 with Ukbar, Stealth Sloth, Smithy and Little Each on the back of him. Dean needs to get it in the pits.
8.9 he lost that lap.
If Dean's going to commit to this strategy, he's got to stay out till at least lap 14. He's got to go till lap 14. He's got to make sure his next 2 laps are better laps. He's going to stay out till at least the end of lap 13. He's got to make sure his next 2 laps are better because he needs to put that gap back up to Walshy and to Holty if he's to get a podium. He's threw this one himself away again.
Yeah, yes, this opportunity. I don't know if the tyres just can't seem to cope with it. See what I mean? Consistency is not there. 47 he did last lap, which was a good lap. A 56.2. Lucas Roth coming into the final corner now and down towards the straight. He does a 46. It's 10 seconds a lap faster than him. Yeah,
he was last time around. And Lucas Roth is starting. He's now 6.4 clear of Bryn. Bryn in the 47 deads, look. So Bryn, some 9 seconds quicker than Dean. Smithy holding up his teammate here. And how many times has Smithy got to let his teammate through? As they're both heading towards Stealth Sloth here. So could both gain an extra couple of places.
Yeah, what do they do here in this situation? Both of them seem to be struggling with these soft tyres. This Audi doesn't seem to be too happy, but we seem to have figured out that the 24-hour Audi seems to be a bit better than the normal Audi.
Yes.
These two have struggled, but Bryn has really been quite strong tonight, other than his own mistakes.
Yes. And looking at the lap times, look at even Smithy's in the 48, low 48s. Dean could face himself in the back of a scrap. He's got to go an extra lap to put an extra good lap of pace in there. He has to.
He also needs to realise that he's not got window wipers on, and he's taken that corner very, very wide. Way off track limits there.
Every week you see Dean with track limits on, with track limits on, with his window wipers on. 7 tenths down on his best lap this time round. So again, back into the good sort of lap times. Is he coming in now, or is he going to come in next lap? He has to wait till it's next lap, so it's do or die for Dean. This man is do or die for him as well. Just under 6 seconds to Bryn, with 2 laps to go. So Keegs really needs to get 2 seconds a lap quicker than Bryn here.
He's got to either hope that Bryn starts to slow some real pace. And to be honest, Bryn's going to be tight on fuel.
Oh yeah, jeez, oh.
That's 8.2. If he crosses the line, he should be on 4 litres.
Yeah,
he might just be all right, but it's still very tight.
That could save Bryn at the end of this race to maybe win it.
Possibly, but
the fact that he's lighter might be the fact that he's not going to lose that much time to Lucas Roth. Look, the gap's still 6.5 seconds.
But I know the stress of, as we see, a Little Leach has passed Stealth Sloth, and Stealth Sloth and Smithy back again racing with each other, as they normally do on a Pro-Am night, and Smithy on the back of Stealth Sloth. Is he going to look for opportunity? The problem is, that car can get lighter and a bit more unpredictable for Bryn. That's the thing. So it just takes him to make one mistake, or he could start to be mentally challenging himself, going, he might be questioning himself, have I got enough fuel? 7.1, is that enough? Am I going to have to start saving fuel? Do I need to short shift?
Yeah, potentially so.
Could go flat out from start to end.
Bryn has gained on Keegs 3 tenths of a lap at the moment. 3 tenths over this lap at the moment. Dean, still with his wipes on, as he comes to the set to 2 timing screen, 7 tenths down again. So he's looking at another 48, a 148. But he's got to pit. He will be around Holty and Little Each. Dean has threw a podium away in this race once again. Vote going out for driver of the day today. He has dropped it, and Bryn's got past, and you have to say that gives Bryn the race win, surely.
Unless Bryn makes a mistake, we've just got 1 lap to go. It's still possible that Bryn can make a mistake, but it looks like Lucas Roth is safe for a third place at the minute, but at the minute, we could be talking about a father-son podium here.
We could be talking about a father-son podium as Bryn comes past Dean. Lucas Roth comes past Dean. Dean's away. God, he was urgent to get out the box there, wasn't he? That seems a decent stop. Welshie to the final corner. Holty now to the final corner. Dean coming down the pit lane. And is Welshie and Holty going to get past?
I think Welshie should. Dean is not quite at the end of the pit lane yet. Holty and Dean is going to be the tight one, I think. There goes Welshie. Dean is on pit exit. He's off the limiter.
Holty's done him. Holty's done him.
Holty is through.
The greater speed there, and Dean Wysocki once again is going to have to kick himself in the teeth. And Bryn here really doesn't need to fight with Lucas Roth, and has Lucas Roth just threw away yet another race win. But this man, Bryn, at the moment, looks like he's on for his second win of the season.
Man with the most penalty points last season could possibly be leading this championship after this round.
What a difference in a season it makes, and it just goes to show that in the right car, he is very, very capable. And he'll be very pleased. Oh, he's had a moment, Bryn! Oh!
Oh! Is this going to give Welshie a win?
This could give, maybe not a win, but maybe a second place.
If Lucas Roth had managed just to avoid Bryn a little bit more, he might have gained a little bit more time out of that. But Welshie is having a job just to keep Holty behind him. But Lucas Roth is going to be first on track. But speeding in the pit lane has caused him to lose this win.
To lose his win, yeah. Another race where Keegs, 64 races without a win, and Keegs comes round Ravazza for the final time. We'll come back to Smithy and Stelfsloff a little later on. We'll also check on Welshie, Holty. Oh, Bryn, keep it together, because this man is going to take a race win here. Keegs will be second place, winner on track, but second place overall. And this man, Bryn, is race win number 2 here at Simplay Motorsport. Keegs will have to settle for a pair of second places today. Welshie back on the podium. Great to see in third place. Has Holty done enough to hold off Dean Wysocki? I think he has, because there's Holty in the background for 4th. Dean a 5th place in the end. Little Each looks like he's going to get 6th. Let's go to the Smithy battle, as I think he's just got... No, Stelsoft's got past Smithy. So what's happened to Smithy there at the end?
I'm not sure. He did give a flash of the lights. I don't know if that's... I was trying to get the Bryn and Welshie in the chat, but looks like I just caught the end of that. So, not sure what has happened there. Ukbar will come home for the night. JM Grill, the man I opted for the race win. I apologise for the commentator's curse.
I said Bryn. I said Bryn. I said Bryn. Yes! Got a prediction right. It's not often I get one of them.
No, it's not.
How happy will he be? That's the question. Keegs again will have to be disappointed with himself for throwing away another race win. And Dan, the championship standings, while we just await DJ Phil to cross the line, he is well off away from the line at the moment. But the championship standings at the minute, Dan, is Little Each 9 points clear of Bryn in the standings. Lucas Roth is up to 3rd from Holty 4th. Welshie back up to 5th after a better second race with Ukbar in 6th. Stelfsloff 7th overall with James Grill in 8th. Dean Wysocki in 9th place with DJ Phil in 10th, ahead of Shenron 11th. Smithy tied with Shenron for 11th place, and that Bozzy Boy in P13. Leon Fernie 14th place, still yet to score, with Pick and Mix Motorsport 3 points clear of Teletubby Motorsport now, and Super Crash Bros are 9 behind, so it's getting close between them 3 teams in the Constructors' battle. MC Motorsport in 4th place, 21 points off the back, with Terminal Velocity Racing on 102. My Mate Racing on 63, getting quicker My Mate on 56. And we'll start with what is, I do believe, the first father-son podium here at Simplay Motorsport. We'll start with the father, and he put you under a bit of pressure, even gave you a tap or two.
Come on, boys! What can I say? Yeah, that was intense. You know, I knew I had to get a clean start away. You know, seeing Keys coming after us, he was coming through everybody and coming catching up, giving us a wee flash, trying to irritate us. He was getting ready to pull his internet. So, but yeah, so I just had to keep my head down, focus, and intense at the end there as Holty was catching us as well. So.
Did you think at one stage that you might be in a fight with Dean towards the end of the race? Dean obviously making a few mistakes that meant you managed to jump him in the pits.
Well, yeah, we're sitting, me and Michael were talking about that. We're watching the times. We could see waiting for Dean to go in the pit and watching the times come down with Keegs and obviously Bryn, knowing that we could jump him. We should stay focused, like I say, not make that mistake, so I can try and do that. I knew it was going to be close, and luckily enough, Holty was there to obviously defend us as well from Dean because he is quick. But yeah, a bit of pressure at the end.
Bit of pressure at the end, like you say. The difference from race 1 to race 2 there, completely different sort of race for yourself.
Race 1, a bit of a schoolboy order, like I said. I went out with the car on low fuel, not even enough to do the race, so I kept it in kind of quality fuel, which was silly. So you know what the Lambo's like, it's undrivable. Got caught up in that wee instinct at the start, trying to get through everybody, and somebody hit us in the back, so I'm not sure what happened there. But other than that, it was just undrivable. The car was like jelly.
Going into COTA next week, what can you do around there with the Lamborghini? Can you get another podium?
I'm going to give it my best, as always.
I wish you the best of luck. Welsh, you going into that one?
Quick question, Welshie. You've got to be a little bit proud of Keeks this evening, because he has put on a stellar show tonight.
I'll be honest with you, it's good to see him back. It's good to see him driving the way he should be driving as normal. You know, we know he's got pace. He's been caught up in a few instances in some of the races we've had, even with last night and that, but it's great to see him back up there, so a massive well done to Mandarin.
And we go to Welshie Jr. now, and Keegs, that must have been fun, just tapping and toying with your dad for a little bit.
Yeah, good fun. I wanted to get past him as quick as I can, and then sort of messed it up a bit, but yeah, it was a good race coming through everyone. A couple of spinners and that off the start, and then just slowly getting my way through the pack.
You must have been frustrated when you got yourself the 10-second penalty, though.
I wouldn't say frustrated, I would say just a bit embarrassed, to be honest, that I've done that. You know, it's not something that I do often, but I just slowly messed it up.
That caused you to really have to put the pedal down and pull away from Bryn. But it led to a mistake in which, although you got re-past Bryn, kind of, you know, put you on the back foot in terms of maybe getting your dad that second place.
Well, yeah, I knew Bryn, he was going to stay there. I was trying to get the gap to him, but I knew I just wasn't going to do it with his pace. And I just thought, if I can keep the gap and keep second, then I'll be happy. And yeah, that's what I've done.
Well, it looks like you've got the chat's vote of driver of the day tonight. You certainly got my vote for driver of the day as well, so congratulations, buddy. And we got to Bryn as well, who takes his second win of the season. And Bryn, 9 points back off of Little Each now. That's not a bad second race compared to the first.
No, first one was just shambles.
You had the pace out there, 46.9 of a fastest lap. You had the pace sort of match Keegs at times. Was you worried of dropping out of that 10-second gap?
I was, yeah, so I tried my best just to hold it. I know, just going steady, so weren't really booting it, I was just going steady along.
Another win, two in one season, most penalty points last year to 2 race wins this season. What a turnaround.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mentioned this car more than the BMW, definitely. Hopefully, keep it up.
Well done tonight, Bryn. Dan, final words from yourself?
One interesting night's worth of racing here at Imola. Every race was very different. Race 1 was chaotic and we didn't know who was going to win. Race 2 was a little bit more predictable. And will Keegs ever get a race win? I think he's just I think he thinks that race wins are overrated. He just he don't like winning. He doesn't like the attention, and he's getting the attention tonight with the driver of the day from Matt, the chat, and myself. So
no, he did well.
I think tonight, Matt, for Imola, it's been a good one, and I'm excited for what happens tomorrow. And from what I've seen on the weather radar, there are thunderstorms lurking around. Will they come over for the race? That is the question, as everyone's been testing dry weather, from what I know.
Yeah.
Rain is possibly around, so that is the question for tomorrow night. But I'm excited for COTA. F1 was chaotic and controversy when we went to COTA. Can the boys keep it under control as we go to COTA next week? Matt, it's been an epic night's worth of racing, I think. What about yourself?
Yeah, indeed. 64 races without a win for Keegs yet here at Simplay Motorsport. You might want to take a few notes from his dad and Bryn, because they've got 3 and 2 wins apiece here. We head, though, to Kota next week for the Pro-Am in what proves to be a fascinating night. If Bozzy Boy is back, it's where he took his first ever Simplay victory, so he'll be looking to go good there once again. We'll be back live tomorrow night, as Dan says, 8 p.m. BST with the pros. Can myself and Gary take the fight to Overtaker, Fury, Master and Andy in that one, or will we have another new winner? Sunday night, penultimate round of the season. Can I wrap up the championship against Green Pies, or can Gary and Sutty once again put on an epic display of racing at Interlagos? We'll be back next Tuesday at 8 p.m. BST as well for the touring cars around Snetterton 300, and there's one man in particular that everybody's minds and eyes are going to be kept on. And as we said, Pro-Am Kota next week. That, though, is all we have time for. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hitting that thumbs up button and subscribing if you have done. And thanks for the votes. What a night for Bryn and Holty. Commiserations, though, for Lucas Roth. We'll see you next time. Good night.
Good night.
Yeah, we're at. You're a what?
I'm a right twat.
Yep. We was
No way, I just done that twice.
not gonna lie, Keegs. We was waiting for you to be disconnected.
Oh, God.
Yeah, but this donkey over here, right, coming up the second corner, he slams the brake mid-corner.
I did see
Yeah, we were on
that.
board.
I did see that. You had a wiggle coming through turn 2 and 3, and then you just hit the anchors, and Keegs had to slam his brakes on, otherwise he'd have just plowed into back here.
Oh, that's right, yeah, that's right. I remember that. I'll tell you something.
Oh, dear.
I've still got it. Fastest lap 145.
Keegs, you got it, 145.
Yeah, because I felt quick. The first one I feel too quick, the second one I felt quick.
Oh, dear, what a race.
That was quite good. What happened to the very first race?
Oh,
Dean didn't seem to stop for turn 1, hit Little Leach, you hit Keegs.
Fuck's sake. Because I come round the corner, I seen everybody spinning. I tried to go through the middle of everybody, and next thing I know, I was getting walloped in the back as well, and I'm like, for fuck's sake.
Dean just didn't stop.
Man.
Dean just didn't stop into turn 1.
Why did you... What is wrong with this?
I got quite a big gap from everyone, and then
Yeah.
fucking bin you.
Well, everybody fucking span because of Dean, and then you managed to pull away, and then you fucked it up yourself.
I watched that in the
that
second
pissed me off.
qualifying. I done a clean 360 in the air, landed, and it just drove off.
Yeah.
You wait till you see the stream.
But that's what I mean. I watched it during the second qualifying. I did a
Sick,
straight
innit?
360. Because I couldn't qualify, I just watched it. And then I
Oi,
did a
Dan.
clean 360 in the air.
We had 30 odd viewers for the whole of that stream.
I know that. I was like, I was seeing that. I was saying that to Michael. Says, "Fuck me, there's 30 people watching."
And you
for
want
the-
to go to fucking Twitch?
For the majority. Yeah, I might rethink that now. Yeah, I've texted him mid-session break. He says he's not been feeling himself today, so he's gone. No, Rob.
Oh.
You know what Rob's like at times, Bryn, don't you? When he sort of goes quiet and shit.
So who wasn't there tonight?
Rob wasn't there. Rob missed race 2.
He's there for
Liam.
race 1, but that's race 2, yeah.
Liam was at work, but he got called
Aiden.
into work yesterday. Aiden not there again, and that Kraft not heard from him, so Kraft's gone. Aiden's at least told me at times when he's at work, so.
Yeah. But like I say, I mean, that was just a pot of luck with Aiden. I mean, if there's somebody else wants to come in, just speak to Aiden and see if he wants to pull it and bring somebody else in.
No race right now.
Is he in the bakery now?
They're always not in the bakery. He works for Peter Hardy.
Can I race Crayon?
No.
Nah, you'd smoke it. I'm barely winning it. You'd smoke it.